To Capital One Bowl Mania.
The mascots are coming together tonight. Rock the Panther on the left, Swoop the Eagle on the right, Rory the Lion in the middle as they play in the home of the Detroit Lions. Tonight it's the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Eastern Michigan Eagles from Detroit, Michigan. And we welcome you to the Quick Lane Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Coming to you from inside Ford Field. Hope you had a Merry Christmas yesterday and happy holidays, everyone. Mike Corey, Rainey Angolia, and Allison Williams on the sideline. Pittsburgh comes in at 7-5, a team that was involved in 8 one-score games this year, second most in the country. And Rainey, when you think about Pittsburgh this season, you think about defense, don't you?
You sure do. Not only one of the best defensive units in the ACC, but one of the best in the nation. It's an aggressive group, especially in the back end with that secondary. They will fly to the football. They will hit you, and that works its way up to the linebackers in that defensive front. Some great wins this year. Upset UCF with the Pitt special this year. That was one of the highlights of the season for the Pitt Panthers. Fourth bowl appearance under Pat Narduzzi, looking for his first win. But again, this team this year was driven by the defensive unit. 11th nationally, 302 yards a game, and then sacks, Mike. Number 1 with 4 sacks a game in the FBS, and then 49 total sacks, was second in the FBS. It's an aggressive unit. If they can get you in a predictable down and distance, they're going to get after you.
Well, how is it going to play out here tonight against the Eastern Michigan Eagles, who are 29th in the nation in passing, thanks to their senior quarterback, Mike Glass?
Yeah, the number 1 passing attack in the MAC. They have to protect Mike Glass to give him some time, but I really think what he needs to do tonight is make some plays with his feet, whether it's called plays for the quarterback run or just some spontaneous work out of him, extending plays with his feet. That's what he needs to do to keep this Pittsburgh defense honest. He's an experienced quarterback. He knows how to spread the ball around the field. But if he can get some running game going, I think that'll help Eastern Michigan out.
Well, and to your point, some excellent numbers in conference play this season. Will it be enough here to lead them to victory? We'll find out. Great to have Allison Williams with us on the sidelines tonight. Let's head on down to her.
Thank you very much. Here with Eastern Michigan head coach Chris Creighton. Chris, you told us this game had breakthrough potential for your team. What was your final message before they broke through that wall and took this field?
It's been the same message all the way through. This is just a huge opportunity for us, in front of our home crowd, on December 26th against a great team. And so we're going to give it everything we have tonight.
What must Mike Glass and your offense do well against a Pitt team that has 49 sacks?
Their defense is suffocating. Obviously, we've got to keep them off our quarterback, and we're going to have to win some one-on-one matchups versus some good people.
Coach Creighton, thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, one of the themes for the Eastern Michigan Eagles is to run through a brick wall with their tough blue-collar mentality. They try to do it tonight and get their first bowl win in a long time. Kickoff is next.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Looking forward to this one tonight with Eastern Michigan and Pittsburgh, the Quick Lane Bowl from Detroit, Michigan. Pat Narduzzi on the sidelines for the Panthers. As you talked about, Rainey, what a job he's done. Really, third most wins in the ACC since going back to 2015.
Yeah, and a defensive-minded coach, and so that fits in well with how good that defense played this year. Brought in a new offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, so a little change in their offense.
Chris Creighton doesn't forget the fact that they were 3-21 his first 2 years, but since then, boy, they have really righted the ship and stabilized this program in a big way.
Yeah, and he's done an excellent job. And you see those shirts he's wearing, all his coaches are wearing, those are like workman-like shirts, mechanic-like shirts. Keep them in the right mindset. That's the way they are. Blue collar.
Pittsburgh won the toss, and they have deferred. And Eastern Michigan will receive to start this game here tonight. Not that far away from home base, 34 miles. Pretty good crowd for the Eagles on hand here tonight as well. They'll start from the 25-yard line. And we'll get our first chance to see the senior Mike Glass III out of St. Louis, Missouri. As we take a look at our PlayStation player impact rating and the job that he's done this year. On the other side, how about the defense from Pitt?
Yeah, Mike Glass, see the 86 in the player impact rating, approaching 3,000 yards passing on the year, 22 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then Paris Ford, the strong safety for Pitt. He will hit you back there. He is like a missile to the football, the leading tackler of that Pitt defensive unit.
Jack Van is the running back who starts in the backfield, but Glass is first place. A pass to the outside caught by Arthur Jackson, and a short pickup on the far sideline.
And there's Paris Ford right there from his safety position. He will come downhill and hit you, as he did right there to start this game. But a nice quick pass out of the Eastern Michigan offense, and I think that's what they need to do. Ball needs to get out of the hand of Mike Glass quickly. It did right there.
Talked about him in the open there, Rainey. First in the MAC in total yards per game, 17th in the country, over 290. Second down, and he steps up and runs, and he's close to the first down at the 35-yard line, just a little bit shy, going to be 30 inches.
And as we talked about in the open, Mike Glass has to do that. The defense for Pitt, they play what's called press quarters. Their corners are up in press coverage. Their safeties are over the top. It's a tough defense. It's aggressive. It gets downhill.
Pressure coming. It's a sneak, and Eastern Michigan has the first down to the 37. Good opening start for them. You know, Glass is a guy that was offered late to Eastern Michigan. He sat out his first year, paid his own way, worked his way onto the team. He's the epitome of that blue-collar work ethic for this group.
And he has a great command of the offense. He's the leader of this team, not only the offense, but the entire team. It's what you want from your quarterback.
First and 10, Glass trying to find Brett Turner from coming out of the backfield. And it's off his hands, incomplete, and Paris Ford there yet again.
Just watch number 12. If you want to find the football, watch 12 for Pittsburgh, Paris Ford, because he's going to find you. He's going to bring you to the football, and he's going to hit whoever's around the football.
Leading tackler and just a sophomore, Rainey.
Yeah, in talking to Coach Pat Narduzzi about him, he said he's an NFL caliber guy. He's hoping he has him for a couple more years. He's that good back there at strong safety.
Bryson Cannon in motion, the tight end. Second down, here's Glass. As a dump it off on the screen, and they got a little bit there working, and it's Dylan Drummond on the reception, and he is just shy of another Eagles first down.
A nice little tunnel screen to the receiver Drummond there. That's what you do against aggressive defenses. A lot of quick screens and some draws, and now a little tempo out of Eastern Michigan.
Well, he did this the last time and does it yet again. Same thing, a sneak by the quarterback Glass to the midfield line. First down.
And they went with tempo, and it looked like that defensive line for Pitt wasn't really set. Good push up front by Eastern Michigan. Another first down with a quarterback sneak.
Eagles looking for their first bowl win since 1987. There was a 28-year drought in between times they went back to a bowl game. They've got a lot to play for here tonight. Shaq Van in the backfield. Glass on the pass out to Line Latu. First and more down the sideline. He's pushed out just before the 30-yard line.
And I like the play, the quick pass to Latu, get him out quickly. And the nice thing that Eastern Michigan is doing, and offensive coordinator Aaron Keene, they're spreading the field.
And they're moving fast as Glass goes deep, and there's a lot of contact. No flag as Dane Jackson was on coverage as they went for Latu yet again.
And you hear some boo bugs. Eastern Michigan only about 30 minutes away, their campus. A lot of fans here today. A little bit of contact as Jackson bumps him a little bit. And you know, when you're a defensive back and you trip like that and you kind of trip up the receiver, you're not going to get called for pass interference. That's a good no call by this SEC crew, by the way. Letting them play early.
I agree with you, partner. Second down and 10. 4 wide to the left side. They try to set up the screen again, and they do. The catch is made by Hassan Badoon, and the ball is out. And let's see what they rule here. That is Eastern Michigan football. Third down, just shy of the marker.
Yeah, first look, though, with Badoon. Looked like his knee was down when that ball came out, but they jumped on it nevertheless. But I like the speed that Eastern Michigan's going with. Let's take a look at this. At the end, the ball's coming out. It was loose. So, I would say that was a fumble. So good for Eastern Michigan. Jump back on that ball because that was definitely coming out.
They did 2 quarterback sneaks before. They do a third, and it's another first down. How about the push that the Eastern Michigan front, Rainey, is getting on these quarterback sneaks. That's 3 in a row there on the third down.
Yeah, 73 Brian Dooley on that right side. 69 Jake Donnellan. Good push up front. The center, Mike Van Hoven. Like that out of that offensive line. And they knew they were going to be challenged tonight with a very good defensive line for Pitt. Thus far in this early possession, offensive line of Eastern Michigan playing well.
11th play of the drive. And whistles before the snap. Timeout, Eastern Michigan.
Timeout, Eastern Michigan. The first at the half. 30-second
We'll
timeout.
step aside with him. 10:55 to go, first quarter. Opening drive of the game. Eagles are working it down the field. We'll be back.
He knows you're not a yeller.
Back in Detroit as Mike Glass's pass batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete on first down and 10 from the 16-yard line. As we welcome you back, Eastern Michigan started from the 25 here and are moving the ball very nicely on this opening drive, Rainey.
Yeah, tried a quick pass right there. Good penetration for Tyler Bentley for Pitt. Gets his big hand up, deflects that one.
Glass 4 of 7 passing on this drive for 42 yards, second down and 10. Setting up the screen again, and it's Arthur Jackson, but that's not going anywhere. They're going to lose yardage, and Pittsburgh was all over it that time.
Yeah, Deslin Alexander, the defensive end, number 5, read that perfectly. Read, recognize, and react to the play. They reacted nicely that time to that tunnel screen.
So now instead of a 3rd and short, which they've had 3 times already where the quarterback sneaked it for the first, they're in 3rd and 12. What do you got here?
Well, and this is the down and distance this Pitt defense wants you, and we'll see if Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator, decides to send a little blitz up the middle here.
Glass to the outside, and it's off the mark. Looking for Arthur Jackson. And this drive will have to settle in a field goal attempt. And Chad Ryland will come on for the Eagles.
Yeah, good coverage on the outside by Dane Jackson. I like the call. A little back shoulder there. Glass just cannot hook up with the receiver.
Ryland's been awesome in just 2 years. As just a sophomore, he's connected on 23 field goals already. 7th all time at Eastern Michigan. 35-yard attempt. But the Eagles on the board first, and it is good. So an opening drive for 3 for Eastern Michigan as they look for their first bowl win in 32 years. We're just underway from Detroit. We'll be back. Happy holidays, everyone. 3-0 Eastern Michigan as we welcome you back to the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit. Mike Corey, Rainey Angolia, Allison Williams as the opening drive goes for 3.
What a good opening drive. 14 plays, almost 5 minutes off the clock. Important that they got points on it. Obviously, they would have liked a touchdown, but they get the field goal. But move the ball nicely, spread it around the field. So a good opening possession for Eastern Michigan.
Dangerous return man that he just saw right there, Maurice French for Pittsburgh. Outstanding wide receiver for them as well. See if he gets a chance at a return. And he will not. Kenny Pickett now for the first time tonight. Junior out of Oakhurst, New Jersey. Quarterback for the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Yeah, 4 300-plus yard games this season. Got a lively arm, can make all the throws. And new offensive coordinator Mark Whipple likes to throw the ball. And I think Kenny Pickett likes his new coordinator.
Well, no doubt. And we've known Coach Whipple for a long time. Yeah, he's one of the outstanding coaches in the game. And had a chance to meet with him even before he was hired as coach. You know, Coach Narduzzi wanted him to meet with his offensive coordinator to see what that fit was going to be like. And so far, it's been a good one. First pass is out, and it's caught by A.J. Davis. And he'll get close to the 30-yard line. Short gain on first down.
They get good quick pass to A.J. Davis, the leading rusher for this Pitt team. Quick read by Pickett.
He's number 1 in the ACC this year and over 23 completions per game. Also good, 7th best in the nation. And they go right back to it. Here is French on his first catch, and he'll have a Pittsburgh first down.
And French, to me, the leading receiver, that's his 85th reception on the year. Only 685 yards, though, because he needs more yards after the catch. And fits perfectly impact players. Maurice French needs to get yards after the catch, and I like what they did right there. And then Kobe Beltran, the middle linebacker, 116 tackles. He's a finisher in there at middle linebacker.
Pickett's pass over the middle. It's caught by French, and he has it for the first. Up at the 49-yard line. The guy's outstanding. He's already set the single-season school record, averaging 7.6 catches per game throughout his career.
Yeah, captain of the team, one of the leaders. Nice little hook route right in the middle. Sits up in the zone, and Pickett puts it right on him.
Now a keeper by Pickett, and he gets inside the 45. He loses the ball. It was not blown dead. It's recovered by Brody Hoying for Eastern Michigan, and the Eagles have it on the turnover.
Yeah, great read by Kenny Pickett as he pulls this on the zone read. Gets to the outside, puts his shoulder down as he gets contact, tries to get every yard, and the ball's going to come loose. And I believe replay will look at this. It's really close. Remember, if a knee's down, if a forearm's down, if his buttocks is down, back is down, he's down. But boy, a couple looks that I got, Mike, and the viewers at home, I think that ball was coming out just before anything touched of Kenny Pickett's backside. And remember, you need indisputable video evidence to reverse the call on the field, which was a fumble. But boy, is it close.
Well, you saw 15, Gerard Vines getting in there for Eastern Michigan. Looked like he had a little bit of that right hand on the ball. Was able to knock that out. And I agree with you. This is going to be a close one.
It's one of those calls.
Yeah.
I think if they called him down in the field of play, it would stand. But they called it a fumble. I think that'll stand as well. I think this is going to be Eastern Michigan ball.
Steve Marlowe is our referee tonight as they are reviewing this here, and this could be huge for Eastern Michigan to get this ball back. An outstanding field position would be their own 46-yard line if this play stands, and they move the football very well on that opening drive, so they've got confidence right now, and we'll see what this call ends up being.
And Pickett had the ball secured high and tight, but give Gerard Vines 15 credit. He reached in there perfectly, ripped it out to cause this fumble. Boy, is it close, though. I mean,
yeah,
it's it could go either way with replay, but I think because they called it a fumble on the field, do you have indisputable video evidence that his backside was down before that ball started coming out? I just don't think you have it.
And these ones are always tough,
yeah,
because you have to watch it in real speed to determine whether you felt like it was kind of. You could freeze frame anything and say, oh, he had it or he was down. I mean, it's
correct.
Tough. It's very tough.
Yep.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Eastern Michigan.
And that's the verbiage, stand. So they didn't have enough to overturn it, which I agree with. It's the correct call. We had great looks by our camera crew there. And it's just a good defensive play by Vines of Eastern Michigan.
All right, so an early turnover, and Eastern Michigan has it back from their own 46-yard line. Vines is pumped up. He had a fumble recovery earlier this year to kind of give him there on a forced fumble on that one. And now Glass is back to work. And the catch is made by Shaq Van for a short gain close to the midfield line, their senior running back. Guy that's 7th all-time in rushing. He did not play in the bowl game last year. It's actually his 6th year with the program. You and I did their bowl game last
and this team struggles when Shaq Van doesn't play. He's the leading rusher. He's got excellent hands out of the backfield. He's an every down back. As you can see the throw on first down. Important for them to stay ahead of the chains, get positive yards on first down, even if it's just 3. Positive.
Glass has a man over the middle. The catch is made and inside the 20-yard line. And Hassan Badoon on the reception. First down, and they're inside the red zone. Gain of 35.
Yeah, Badoon, the sophomore out of Dearborn, Michigan, 5'8", 170, a little slot back. Just a skinny post down the middle. Mike Glass puts it on him in a hurry. Good looking play.
Keeper by Glass now on the carry as he faked it to Van. And he's down to the 12. This is right around the area where the drive stalled the last time. They had to settle for a field goal, but they're moving quickly here now, keeping Pittsburgh off balance.
Well, they're changing the pace of the tempo, and I think that's wise against a good defense.
Movement, flags are down, free play to the end zone, another flag. So you've got offsides and then a pass interference here, it seems like. So Damari Mathis is the one on coverage. It's a double whammy against Pittsburgh now.
Mathis looked back, but he was all over him. It's an easy call for the side judge. So they'll decline the offsides. They'll take the pass interference. You see the offsides with Twyman there in the middle, and then you're going to see the pass interference with Mathis all over him. Easy call by the side judge. It'll be first and goal for Eastern Michigan.
Twyman trying to get a jump start on what would have been his, trying to get his 11th sack of the season.
There are two fouls, both on the defense. Offside number 97 is declined. Pass interference, defense number 22 is accepted. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down. Correction, number 21 was guilty of pass interference.
He's got it. 4-yard line, the spot of the ball. It's going to be first and goal for Eastern Michigan.
And we all saw it too, so everyone at home knows. It's 21. Wouldn't be surprised, little zone read down here. Watch and see if Mike Glass puts it in the belly of a back and pulls it out himself. Reading the defensive line.
6 first downs so far for Eastern Michigan early, halfway through this first quarter. As they look for Pater, Van is the running back. Glass hands to Van, and he's tripped up. Maybe a yard on the play as Damar Hamlin, the free safety, got in there for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Amir Watts, 34, the only senior on that defense line. Good penetration as well up there to disrupt the play early. You know, we talked about how good this Pitt defense has been all year. This is a big chance for them here to see if they can hold Eastern Michigan to another field goal.
Eagles trying to make a statement. Second and goal, keeper by Glass, up the middle for the touchdown.
Great read by Mike Glass. Good blocking up front. Shaq Van, the running back, with a lead block. And Mike Glass is a 210-pound quarterback. Look how he gets behind those pads, Mike. You always hear me say, run behind the pads. That's what Mike Glass did right there. And he's in for the score.
What versatility. Through the air and on the ground. Glass is the second leading rusher, and that's his 8th touchdown rushing of the season. 10-0 Eastern Michigan.
And you do exactly what you want to do as a team. You get the takeaway, and you put it into points. Great job by Eastern Michigan. 5 plays, 59 yards for the 3-yard Glass score. Eagles lead it 10-0.
The Quick Lane Bowl, brought to you by Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. Your go-to for oil changes, tires, brakes, the whole 9 yards. The all-new Ford Explorer, built Ford proud. And Taco Bell's Rolled Chicken Tacos Party Packs.
Swoops had a good week here in Detroit.
He was busy.
Yeah,
all over the place.
town.
Look at him. Excited?
Well, he should be here because it's 10-0 Eagles with 6:46 to play first quarter. Opening drive for the field goal and then a touchdown after the Pittsburgh fumble, and that's where we stand.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Chris Creighton in Eastern Michigan, you're elated. This is a perfect start to this ball game for your club.
Let's take a look back with our Expedia Drive recap here and tell you how we got up to this point with the Eagles up 10.
Well, it started with Gerard Vines, the strip of Kenny Pickett, the takeaway, and then the Eastern Michigan offense is going to take advantage of that fumble recovery. Pass by Glass to Badoon, down the middle, get him going, and then the quarterback keeper by Mike Glass. Good push up front, and just like that, Eagles are up in this one, 10-0.
So back to Kenny Pickett for Pittsburgh. He's got Vincent Davis in the backfield on this set. Catch is made, Jared Wayne, and moves upfield for a first down. Nice job of the yards after the catch.
Well, and Pitt moved the ball that last possession. It's just you got to take care of the ball. I should say, after that turnover, Pitt is -9 on the year in turnover ratio, which is horrendous. So you just can't give the ball up that much.
Well, that was a gain of 13, but now flags come out before the snap.
False start. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Let's get down to Allison.
Guys, a great start for Eastern, and this is a team that is fired up to be in this bowl game. You could tell from the moment they rolled into the stadium wearing their work shirts. I watched them during pregame. They were flying around. And look, at 6-6, a bowl game was not guaranteed. They actually found out during the team's end-of-the-year banquet. Chris Creighton had to prepare 2 different ends to his speech. One if they got into a bowl game, one if they didn't. When he announced at the end that they were coming here to play in the Quick Lane Bowl, the room absolutely erupted. He said it was just pure joy, a lot of fist pumping, guys jumping around, and you can tell, man, on the field, on the sidelines, they are so fired up to be in this game.
Yeah, and the thing about Chris Creighton, he said in other years, a 6-6 Eastern Michigan team, they would have been passed over. Well, not this year. They got the call.
Vincent Davis in trouble after he just had a gain of 8 to make it 2nd and 2, and then he just goes the other way and negates all that he just got. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Davis, a true freshman, and you're right. The great run on the play before, but that time, man, when you start going lateral like that and get pushed back, you got to square those shoulders, cut your losses, get upfield as much as you can.
Well, so much for making it a 3rd and manageable. Now it's 3rd and long. French is in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Let's see if Pickett goes in that direction. Pressure. Pickett. He's sacked. Brody Hoying on the play, and a flag is down as well. So Hoying with the fumble recovery, and now a sack here. And we'll get the official call from Steve Marlowe, starting to get a little busy here.
Personal foul. Defense number 97. Hands to the face. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So wipe all that out.
Well, and that's the hands to the face. That's a point of emphasis this year. You've seen this called a lot, and this is going to bail out Pitt. 97, C.J. Hunt. In the middle of the screen, right there, you see it on 53. Jake Cradle right there to the face. Umpire standing behind. You see the flag come in. It's an easy call for him, and you just got to get that hand down. And that'll bail out the Panthers, give them a first down.
Right call. Officials are all over it.
How about 2 hands to the face?
Yeah, had a great look at it there. So that brings the ball down to the 46 of Eastern Michigan. 1st and 10. Davis carries and runs into a wall there at the 41-yard line. Picks up 5.
Davis got some good quicks. True freshman out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 5'8", 170. Kind of like a scat back.
It's a host of different guys that they've used in the backfield this season that they can rotate.
Well, and Pat Narduzzi told us it's going to be kind of running back by committee in this game, and has been this season.
Pressure. Pickett hit as he throws, and that is incomplete. Dangerous there, looking for Nakia Griffin-Stewart, and Sean Simeon had that pressure that time on Pickett.
Yeah, and the pressure forced Pickett to release that ball before he wanted to. Just couldn't time it up with his big tight end, Griffin-Stewart. You see Carter Warren, big right tackle. Dipped in, a little speed rush to the outside. And a hit on Kenny Pickett.
Now 3rd down and 5, maybe 4 down territory if they don't get it here. 4:20 to play. Pickett dumps it off. French on the catch, but they do have it. 1st down inside the 35-yard line. Nice job by French through traffic, and it's a fresh set of downs.
And good job by Kenny Pickett to stick with it. Knew he was going to get hit there. He got a guy in his face. Throws that tunnel screen to Maurice French, and they pick up the 1st down, move the chains.
First down, Pickett stands in, and this pass is incomplete. Dropped by Will Gregg, the tight end.
Man, that's one Gregg knows he's got to hold on. You know, would have been much 4 or 5 yard game, but again, you hear me say all the time, stay ahead of the chains. Positive plays on 1st down. You know, instead of 2nd and 5, now you're back to 2nd and 10 because of the drop.
Hand off to Davis. Powers his way up the middle for a few. Going to set up a 3rd and long. What do you think now here for Pittsburgh on this drive?
Well, I think they're going to be aggressive, so I think Pat Narduzzi's probably telling Mark Whipple, you got 2 plays to pick this up. I really believe they're going to be aggressive here in this bowl game. So we'll see a little pistol set here.
Pickett on 3rd down. Pressure comes in. He gets away, being chased, and this pass is incomplete. No flags. French the intended target, but well off the mark. 4th and 8.
And he didn't pick anything up, so I think they will kick it here, and they'll send the field goal kicker out, Kessman. And I think if they would have picked up some yardage, would have stayed aggressive.
Good kicker here with Kessman. 231 career points, 4th in school history. And 7th overall in scoring, so 4th in kicking, 7th overall. This is a 49-yard attempt to put Pitt on the board. It has the distance, but it is no good. Off to the left, just missed it, and it stays a 10-0 Eastern Michigan advantage. As long of the season was from 54. This one from 49. Just hooked it. And the Eagles still lead by 10.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, what bowl games are coming up?
Well, it is the season for bowl games. We got 4 more for you tomorrow on ESPN, the ESPN app. It all starts at noon Eastern. North Carolina Temple. We got Michigan State, Wake Forest in action, and Oklahoma State, Texas A&M, and Air Force and Washington State. What a great games tomorrow as bowl season continues. Eastern Michigan on offense. Glass is passed to the far sideline to Thomas Odukoya. It's caught for a short gain as they are back on or now incomplete, excuse me. They're back on offense 10-0. And Mike Glass is approaching a school record here, trying to pass Charlie Batch for total offense. It's his 2nd all-time.
And I like the way Mike Glass early on is extending plays with his feet, making good run decisions as well in the zone read.
2nd down, Glass on the fake, and the keeper not much this time. And for more on his story and where he's got to today, let's go back down to Allison.
Well, it's been quite the journey for Glass to get here to Eastern Michigan. Growing up, he played in 3 different high schools. He attended 2 different junior colleges. In fact, at his 2nd junior college, he lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 of his buddies, one of their girlfriends, and a newborn baby, all in a 2-bedroom apartment. So as a mom of a newborn, I know nobody was getting any sleep there, but he got through that, found his way to Eastern Michigan, and he said through it all, it was his mom that was his rock. She said she just kept telling me God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. That was my motto, and he's making the most of it in his senior year.
Well, he really is, Allison. Really good there. It's 3rd down and 10 now for Eastern Michigan. Glass trying to convert it, and the pass is just off the mark, incomplete. Looking for Line Latu. And the Eagles will have to punt. That's a 3 and out.
Yeah, good penetration up the middle as Glass got hit as he released it. And a good stop by the Pitt defense. But getting back to Mike Glass, one of the best compliments you can get You know, Aaron Keene, his offensive coordinator, said he makes everyone around him better. He's that type of person, and he knew he was going to get hit there. He stays in. A little toss at the end there by Baldonado, but no call.
What was your dorm situation like back when you're
no babies? Yeah. It was loud, though.
Yeah. Jake Julian, the junior punter, the only punter in Eastern Michigan history to have 2 70-plus yard punts. A good one here as French runs it out of bounds after a short return, and the Panthers will go back on offense. Just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter tonight from Detroit, Michigan. Quick lane bowl from Ford Field. And the Panthers, now they're looking for their first bowl win under Pat Narduzzi. I mean, we talked to him this past week. He said, no, that's for you guys to mention. I'm not really too worried about it, but they haven't won a bowl game since 2013.
And a different look for Pitt on offense. You know, Pat Narduzzi is a defensive guy. He likes to run the ball. He's kind of that old school coach. And so a lot more passing from this Pitt offense this year than the traditional running that I think Pitt fans are accustomed to seeing. But been a little change for Narduzzi, but I think he likes it.
On the sweep, Shockey Jacques Louis, and he's off to the races across the 40-yard line. And a good run there to the 47 and a Pitt first down. Vince Calhoun and Colby Beltram made the tackle, but not after a gain of 16.
Yeah. Nice jet sweep to Jacques Louis there. Good speed as he gets around the right side. Exactly what you want to do. Watch the wheels out of the sophomore from Fort Myers, Florida. Protecting the ball. Nice job.
Pickett rolling away, and nobody open downfield. Puts his head down and gets into Eastern Michigan territory, a gain of about 4. Last time that Pittsburgh did get the bowl win in 2013 was right here in Detroit, the Little Caesars Bowl, with a 30-27 win over Bowling Green.
Yeah. How about Pickett, though? Hard-nosed, tough kid, right? Not sliding. And pick up positive yards.
Coach Whipple on the sidelines, the offensive coordinator coming in this year for the Pitt Panthers. Get this offense moving. To Maurice French now on the catch, and that is a first down.
And I know Whip would tell Kenny Pickett, Ken, just slide. Don't take that unnecessary hit. And you can tell this is old school. Kenny Pickett runs over to Mark Whipple after every single play, and Whipple gives him the play. Old school football, no signals. You're not stealing any signals from Pitt. Maybe if you're a lip reader.
Pickett swings it back over to French, and this is why he has so many catches. I mean, I guess you got to play a little bit off him, right? You don't want him to go by you. But let's get back down to Allison for more on that exchange there with Whipple and Pickett.
Yeah, the communication works for the two. Coach Whipple said it's the best way to simulate what you have in the NFL with the helmet communication. And he doesn't just give them the play then. It's also the kind of last-minute reminders and a quick reminder to check for this safety or a certain blitz. And it's the best way for them to communicate. It's certainly been effective.
Didn't we just see that exact play there? He does it again.
Allison brings up a great point. It's a chance for Mark Whipple just not only give him the play, but just tell him a little something in the situation they're in, and it works for him. And you talk about the NFL helmets. Remember, in the NFL, the offensive coordinators, the quarterbacks have that little speaker in their helmet. It shuts off when the play clock gets to 15. So as Allison said, it kind of simulates that, but just in person.
Injury to Taran Rush, the junior defensive end for Eastern Michigan, so they attend to him. But yeah, that's real interesting on the communication aspect of it. You know, you signal the calls in, but then, you know, you don't see this as much, you know, with the players coming over like that.
And again, I mean, and Whipple is an offensive coordinator. He may see something the defense is doing or a corner or a safety's doing, so he can, you know, tell Kenny Pickett a little something more about the play, just not give him the play call. Now, Kenny Pickett, you got to be in shape, right? Come to the sideline a little bit more and run a little bit, but he's up to the task.
First down and 10. As Rush comes off the field, this is A.J. Davis, and he is wrapped up. He's going to lose yardage. And this first quarter is going to wind down.
Well, and you wonder if A.J. Davis, he read that play wrong. That was supposed to be a sweep to the left. Everyone pulled out, and he kind of hesitated back inside. Got to read it better.
First quarter in the books tonight from Detroit, Michigan. Quick Lane Bowl, Eastern Michigan and Pittsburgh. The Eagles looking for their first bowl win since 1987. Second quarter when we come back. Welcome back to the Quick Lane Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas yesterday. Happy holidays, everyone. Mike Corey, Rainey Angolia, Allison Williams from Detroit in Ford Field. 10-0 Eastern Michigan over Pittsburgh. Start the second quarter.
A pretty even first quarter. 107 total yards for Pitt, 103 for Eastern Michigan. But what's not even is the score. Because Eastern Michigan leads this thing 10-0. Got that big touchdown off the takeaway.
The Kenny Pickett fumble, quarterback for Pitt. Now they're working it down the field to the 30-yard line, faced with a second down, 2nd and 12. Pickett guns it. Catch is made, and that's Shockey Jacques-Louis. And ripped down at the 25-yard line. Setting up a 3rd down here. What do you like now in this sequence?
Yeah, well, I like Maurice French, right?
Yeah.
Find him. See if we can isolate him in a one-on-one situation.
He's already got 6 catches.
Yep.
3 more. He's got the single season record in Pitt history. And he passed Larry Fitzgerald for that. Third and 7. Pickett's pass is caught by Davis, and he's going to lose a yard. So that's not what they needed. 4th down and 8. And on comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, excellent job by Terry Myrick there, 32 for Eastern Michigan. The Will linebacker come up to make that tackle in space. One of the toughest things to do. Bring down a shifty player like Vincent Davis in space, and he did it.
Kessman missed a 49-yarder earlier. And this a little bit shorter, 44-yard attempt to get Pitt on the board. And that one is good. So Alex Kessman converts for Pitt. And it's a 7-point game now in favor of Eastern Michigan. Back to Detroit in a moment. Saturday on ABC and the ESPN app, we have the Camping World Bowl from Orlando at noon Eastern. First ever meeting between Notre Dame and Iowa State, if you can believe that. The Irish have been playing football since 1887 and the Cyclones since 1892.
A couple good quarterbacks in that one. Ian Book for Notre Dame, responsible for 37 of his team's touchdowns. And then Brock Purdy for Iowa State, responsible for 35. Be going at it in sunny Orlando.
Chance for a return, but they call it a fair catch. That is Dylan Drummond. So Eastern Michigan back on offense from the 25 with a 7-point lead. How about the season that Eastern Michigan had?
3rd bowl appearance under head coach Chris Creighton. 2018 Camellia Bowl, which you and I called, lost on a last-second field goal to Georgia Southern. 2016 made it to the Bahamas Bowl, lost to Old Dominion by 4. It's the first time for the Eagles. Back-to-back non-losing seasons, though, since 1988 and 89. And, of course, Mike Glass ranks 13th nationally in completion percentage.
Those numbers, you can't just overshadow the success that this program has had recently. As Glass's pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted, looking for Dylan Drummond. I mean, they were 3-21 under Creighton in his first 2 years, but he knew he was going to get this thing on the right track, and he has. And that's the thing. Now, 25-25 since 2016 doesn't sound all that attractive to other schools, but it is for this group, and it should be, because that's a monumental improvement to get to stabilize this program.
He's got him going in the right direction. A new $20 million end zone facility on campus. Starting to recruit better, and but he's a perfectionist type of guy, that blue collar type of coach. So you understand why he just wants to just keep getting better and better.
2nd down, Glass dumps it off for Shaq Van, and Van makes a move, and he has 1st down yardage up close to the 40-yard line. Jalen Twyman on the tackle for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Van looks healthy there. He's got that left knee brace on. Breaking tackles, big back, 222-pounder, 14-yard reception there for Van.
And I like the way that Eastern Michigan is moving quickly here. This pass incomplete, almost intercepted by Dane Jackson, and wanted Line Latu. I mean, the Eagles right now are enjoying their best 4-year stretch since 1987 through 1990. I mean, this is going to be the winningest senior class, you know, in history for this team.
Well, and talking to Chris Creighton, he said our goal was to make it to Ford Field. They just thought they were going to make it here for the MAC championship game, not the Quick Lane Bowl. And he said, you know, they lost senior day, that last game of the year. He said it was just a sickening feeling after losing that game to Kent State. And so they were obviously overjoyed to get a bowl invite and get a chance to get that bad taste out of their mouth after that season-ending loss.
Only MAC school to beat a Power 5 conference opponent this year. They beat Illinois. And then they also knocked off Purdue last year and Rutgers in 2017. That's 3 straight seasons with wins over a Big Ten school. That's nothing to sneeze at.
And trying to knock off an ACC school here tonight.
Timeout. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles when we return.
The Quick Lane Bowl, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And Coca-Cola. Share the magic this season with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy Coca-Cola.
All right, so a little bowling here. Not bowling, but with a football that Eastern Michigan, they're going to bring home the trophy there.
A little football and bowling combined. Yeah. Bowling looks fun.
I think they'd like to add the Quick Lane Bowl trophy to that one as well. Yeah, here tonight. They lead at 10-3, and it's 2nd down and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Glass. And a low throw that is going to be caught just across the 45-yard line by Arthur Jackson.
And Jackson, the leading receiver for Eastern Michigan. Goes down, makes that catch, gets to a manageable 3rd down and short here.
Impressed with what we've seen so far from this Eagles team.
Well, I like the protection. Mike Glass hasn't been sacked tonight. We talked about 49 sacks for that defensive Pitt. Haven't got to him yet tonight.
Third down. 3rd and 3. Play clock. Just got it off. Glass taking a shot up top. Incomplete. Drummond. And DeMar Hamlin was on coverage for Pitt.
Wow, that's a perfect pass by Mike Glass. High and away. It's exactly where you want to put that ball. Drummond just couldn't quite get to it. But if he doesn't catch it, no one does. But this is where you need to put it if you're Mike Glass. One that, boy, you wish Dylan Drummond could have just turned the Jets on just a little bit to make that catch.
Now Monday morning quarterback here because we saw the result of the play, but did you like that call on a short 3rd and 3?
I didn't mind it because of what they got coverage-wise, and Drummond got separation, kind of short-armed it there. One that they could have completed and probably should have.
Jake Julian. And not a great punt here, but it's going to take an Eastern Michigan bounce as I eat my words as it's down inside the 5-yard line. So
it's a great punt now.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, right? That's a 50-yarder then, and it gets down at the 4. So
they don't draw pictures on the scoreboard, right? On the scorecard.
They'll take it. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it looks like.
That's right. About 22 yards of roll there. They'll take it.
Now you're Pitt backed up at your own 4-yard line.
Well, traditionally you run it out of here. You just try to get some breathing room. This is where you got to have a little attitude with that offensive line. Pitt has a smaller back in there, and Vincent Davis, though, don't have a big bruiser.
Pickett, though, is taking a shot for French, and he has it. Across the 40, one man to beat. He turns on the Jets. Maurice French, another one, cuts it back. He's going to have a touchdown. 96 yards.
Did I say run it out of there? Well, that's the old school version. Mark Whipple says, no thank you. Little half roll by Kenny Pickett. And you go to your main man, Maurice French. Wow.
143 on 7 catches and that touchdown. Our spotter, my brother Brian Corey, actually said, no, I think they're going to take a shot. He told me to take off the headset. He told me. And then we got our statistician, Matt Siegel, does a great job of that number at 96 yards. And what a play by Pittsburgh. And they have tied this game.
Yeah, and that, Maurice French, kind of the X factor tonight. Making a lot of catches. More importantly, yards after the catch. How about 96 yards to add to his total tonight? Showing you the speed after the catch. A little cutback. This game's knotted at 10 in Detroit.
Stretching out Maurice French for Pitt, and for good reason, as they tied it up at 10 with a long touchdown pass.
Well, you go 96 yards, you got to stretch that hip flexor out a little bit.
We'll show it to you after the kickoff here. We're tied at 10, just under 12 minutes to go, second quarter. From Detroit, Michigan, in the Quick Lane Bowl. And here it is again, and we'll call this tonight's clutch delivery, brought to you by Chipotle, and it certainly was. They started at their own 4-yard line.
Yeah, one play drive, 16 seconds. Maurice French in the slot. Just firing on all cylinders tonight. 7 catches, 143 yards. Blake Bogan, the free safety, just a mismatch for Maurice French as he takes it the distance.
How about the longest pass play in Pitt history? 96 yards from Pickett to French. Now Eastern's chance to respond. Jarius Grissom on his first catch tonight. And he does a little bit of everything for this team. They've lined him up at quarterback as well. They've got him on some speed sweeps, and they'll throw it out to him. Very talented sophomore.
Former quarterback, so he can do a lot of things, and nice to see them get the ball in the hands of Grissom to the outside for the first down.
Jairus Grissom, excuse me, on the catch for the first down to the 35. 4 wide receivers set. And Van, the running back, fake to him, and the pass over the middle is caught right at midfield by Hassan Badoun on a strike from Mike Glass. He got that one in there.
Yeah, good hands by Badoun. Great concentration. Knew he was going to get hit. Might as well hold on to it anyway, and he does.
15-yard reception. And just like that, Eastern Michigan's at midfield. That's his 3rd catch tonight.
Again, a good quick release by Mike Glass. That defensive front just not able to get pressure on Mike Glass like they would like to tonight.
Van on the carry, and nothing doing there. But this offensive line has been playing outstanding tonight, hasn't it, Allison?
They really have. They've done a great job of keeping any pressure from getting to their quarterback, Mike Glass. But the offensive line coach, James Patton, reminding his guys they got to stick with their technique. He said you got to stay low, because if you get too high, they're going to set you up. And let's see if that Pitt score can help spark their defense, because, guys, they've been a little flat. In fact, Paris Ford has been on his guys saying, we have got to wake up out there. He said, it's a bowl game, guys. You got to be ready to fight.
Yeah, and you're right. The offense had that big spark play. Let's see if the defense can maybe get a takeaway and spark them.
Second down, Glass guns it into traffic. It's tipped and it's caught, and it's going to be a touchdown by Dylan Drummond. The check and Keon Williams scores it for Eastern Michigan. Tipped, and Williams has it for 6, and that one goes for 50 yards.
And back and forth we go. Good initial coverage by Pitt. Inside position, Glass puts it up. The D-back just can't come down with it. Damari Mathison right there. Keon Williams, good concentration, makes the easy catch and walks it in the end zone.
Extra point is good. So you had the 96-yard pass for the touchdown by Pitt to French. And then this tipped ball and a 50-yard touchdown catch by Keon Williams. That is his 6th touchdown of the season.
And a great answer by Eastern Michigan. Not fazed by the 96-yarder for Pitt. Good coverage by Damari Mathis. Just can't make the play. Tips it up in the old tip drill. Keon Williams is the beneficiary. Great concentration. makes the easy catch. He just waltzes into the end zone.
That's what Mathis has done a ton this season in that quarterback position. He's second on the team in breakups, so he got his hand on it yet again. Just didn't bounce his way.
Good coverage, great position. Just can't come down with the interception or knock it to the ground. It goes up in the air and just easy catch by Williams.
So under 2 minutes on the drive, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the Eagles are back in front, 17-10. Still have 10:04 to play in this first half.
Thought we were going to have a good one tonight.
Yes.
You know, two teams that are very motivated, Mike. Both these teams, they didn't finish their regular seasons like they would have wanted to. Chance in this bowl game, send their seniors off the right way and get a good taste in their mouth for the offseason.
I mean, that's what it really comes down to in many of these bowl games.
Motivation.
Right? Who's motivated and wants it more. It's not always based on talent and matchups and
what conference you come from.
And who you think should win. It doesn't always work that way. And Eastern Michigan's certainly not playing like a 6-6 team right now. You know, because they had a bunch of close games this season. You know how it is. Ball could bounce either way. They were involved in 7 one-score games this year, third most in the country.
Started the season 3-1, a good start to their year. And then, listen, the MAC is a good, tough conference. We know that. We call MAC games every year. Everyone knows MACtion. They go at it in that conference, and they don't back down to the Power 5 conferences.
To have a win over a Big Ten team in 3 consecutive seasons, that's
pretty good.
Outstanding,
yeah.
Yes. Play fake to Vincent Davis. Pickett, pressure, hit as he throws. And that one is going to be caught. And it's Shockey Jacques Louis. And that's a big gainer. Down to the Eastern Michigan 43-yard line. And Pickett stood strong as he took a big hit.
Here's Jacques Louis with good speed as well. Another little half roll by Pickett. It almost looks like the same play to French, but this time to Jacques Louis. The safety, Corey Hernandez, is on him. Pickett's going to take the hit. I love a tough quarterback that knows he's going to take a big hit, but still delivers the pass anyway, and a big 32-yard pickup to Jacques Louis right there.
And the senior defensive end, Hunter Andrews, got on him. Now Pickett rolling, has a little bit more time, and nobody's open downfield, and he'll race to the sideline and be 2 yards shy of a Pitt first down.
Wisely gets out of bounds, doesn't take an unnecessary hit, but a good pickup on first down. But obviously something they see in the secondary. They're getting matchups with their wide receivers against the safeties of Eastern Michigan. And if you're Pitt and you're Mark Whipple, offensive coordinator, you're going to take that matchup every day.
Big day tomorrow for the Bulls. We've got 4 of them coming your way, beginning at noon Eastern on ESPN, so don't miss out on that. Here's a handoff to Vincent Davis, and he has the first down for Pitt. So it seems like it may be one of these games here tonight, Rainey, where you do one thing and I got to come back and do the other, you know. It's back and forth so far. 7-point ball game. First down and 10 for Pitt.
Yeah, so Eastern Michigan answered off the big play for Pitt. See if Pitt can answer on this drive here.
Fake to Davis. And Pickett gets away. Good running room as he gets down close to the 25-yard line. He's got a couple of rushing touchdowns this season. We know on the other side, Glass is more of a runner for Eastern Michigan, but I'm very impressed with what he's done.
Not known for his running ability, but right there, recognized the play was breaking down. He got upfield, got down, picked up positive yards, and you like to see that out of your quarterback. I mean, he's a smart quarterback. He understands the game. He understands the situation ahead of him. Pick up what you can. Get it to 2nd and 4. Nice positive pickup on first down.
Toss out to Davis. And Vincent Davis gets some nice blocks as he heads to the sideline. That's a first down. Vince Calhoun runs him out of bounds.
Yeah.
First set of downs.
Little old school toss to the left. I love how Davis, called running the ladder. He cut in the block and then outside the block to the outside. Picks up the first down.
This Pitt offense is going to be dangerous for the years to come. Next year, I mean, this is a true freshman in Davis. I mean, you got another year with Pickett at quarterback. Got a lot of young talent on this squad.
A.J. Davis should be back.
Yep. Pickett eluding pressure, and in the middle of the field is Will Bragg, and he makes this catch this time. And you talk about the young squad here. 19 players have made their first career start for the Panthers this year. 8 true freshmen have also seen action for Pitt as well. Second down, Pickett. Catch is made just inside the 10-yard line. Nakia Griffin-Stewart, and just shy of the first. That's a senior tight end.
Yeah, and Griffin-Stewart hesitated just enough because he knew he was going to get hit by the safety. Brody Hoying there makes the catch. Can't pick up the first down, but gets to third and short.
One for 3 on third down tonight. 3rd and 1. Davis. First down. Touchdown.
Love the burst from the young running back. Little off tackle to the left. He's going to plant that foot, find the hole right there, square those shoulders, and hit it hard. Exactly what you want to do. Get it in there for the score. The replay will look to make sure the knee wasn't down before the ball broke the plane.
Is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
So we'll get a look at this.
And a pretty powerful young runner, Rainey, at 5'8", 170.
And a true freshman, so he's going to get bigger. That build's going to get stronger. He's going to get in the weight room, but good burst, good speed. Now when he puts a little more muscle on that frame, going to be better for him. Run through some tackles.
He is down. Ball's definitely over the line.
Yeah.
Yep, we're on the line. So
you know, you've worked with me 3 years now. The plane is the front of that line. The nose of the football just has to touch that plane. It's a sheet of water that runs up. The ball just touches that sheet of water and puts a ripple in it. You have broken the plane. The ball clearly did that before that knee hit the ground. This is a touchdown.
And it's going to be 7 carries, 33 yards, and that touchdown for Vincent Davis thus far for Pittsburgh. And an extra point away from tying this game up yet again. 6:20 to go here in the second.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So a great look, great job by the cameraman as they confirm the call. Back and forth we go.
And I think Chris Creighton, who you saw on the sideline for Eastern Michigan, I mean, has to be encouraged because his offense is scoring. I mean, and they're not getting sacked, and that was the main concern for what Pitt's doing. Yeah. So they're just going to probably get themselves geared up for a shootout here tonight. 6:20 to play, first half, and Kessman has tied the game at 17. So we will be right back. Quick lane ball from Detroit. Back and forth. Panthers, Eagles. More after this.
Justin in practice, just some of the balls he makes and throws downfield are just, sometimes you say, wow, what was that throw right there? He just does some things that blow your mind.
Open, score, touchdown. Caught it for a touchdown. Welcome to Columbus, Justin Fields.
Look forward to watching this. This 4-episode series will document how 4 conference champions plan and prepare to play in college's postseason. 4 episodes, all available only on ESPN+.
Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, played his college ball at New Hampshire. Was a quarterback in the late 90s. Not quite as explosive as his quarterback, Justin Fields. And he would admit that.
Wow, what a year it's been. Can't wait to watch those semifinal matchups. How about this game here tonight? Tied at 17, Pitt and Eastern Michigan. 6:20 to go, first half still. And Mike Glass has been outstanding. He has now set the single season total offense record, passing Charlie Batch from back in 1997. Total offensive yards in a single season. He also tied Charlie for touchdown passes with 23, and that all happened on that last series on that 50-yarder to Keon Williams. And now they are right back to work here, and across the 30-yard line is Hassan Badu on this catch.
But how impressive is that, right? On Mike Glass, what he's done. And it just shows you staying healthy, throwing the ball, running the ball, just managing the offense, and making everyone around him better.
Saw Charlie Batch earlier tonight in the hotel. He's here watching.
I think he had an inkling that record was going to fall.
That's what he said to me when I saw him. He said, yeah, it's going down tonight. I'm like, yep, and it has gone down here early in the second quarter. They give the Shaq Van first down up to the 40-yard line. So you got the pass going well with Glass, of course. You got Van rushing well. You got Glass rushing well.
And Allison touched on it earlier. The offensive line for Eastern Michigan playing exceptionally well. And I think they knew it was going to be a challenge because of all the talk of the Pitt defensive line coming into this game. So you heard her talk about the offensive line coach, James Patton, telling them form. You got to have fundamentals. And they're playing well up front right now.
First down. Glass under pressure, and he escapes and goes down close to midfield. Almost enough for the first down. 9.5 yards on that run.
And what a difference, right? Looks like he's going to get sacked, dropped for the loss, and he's able to escape using those feet. Gets upfield, and he picks up 9 yards. Great pressure. Pocket collapses, but he's able to step up, get a little green grass, and he picks up 9 yards. Making plays with his feet.
They got to have somebody on him, right? I mean, maybe a spy on this guy, right, with what he's done so far. And they do it again here, and that's the 4th time tonight on a QB sneak by Glass, and he just pushes the pile. That offensive line, they got 5 yards out of that.
When you quarterback sneak for 5 yards, that's just you're winning at the line of scrimmage. That is great push. You're getting underneath that defensive line. You got your big 210-pound quarterback, and you'll take that all night long on second, third, short.
That left side of the offensive line there, and you see City Sal, 62, and Steve Nielsen, 74. They call them the International House of Pancakes on that left side. You get Nielsen from Denmark and Sal from Quebec, and they've just been outstanding this year.
City Sal, the best offensive lineman. Nielsen, probably the second best offensive lineman on that left side.
Glass. Oh, another tip ball. It is off his own guy this time, and Arthur Jackson ends up making the catch. So everything going their way.
Well, he was trying to target Badoon. Comes off him, and as you said, right to Arthur Jackson. Another tip drill for the receivers. Tries to get to Badoon on a crossing route. Or actually, he may have been throwing it to Arthur Jackson, and Badoon just kind of got in the way. Either way, it's a reception for Arthur Jackson.
So it doesn't matter whether the defender tips it or the own man tips it. They're still making the completions. That's a gain of 11.
I love how Mike Glass is spreading it around to different receivers tonight.
26 combined first downs in this game already tonight. This is a low throw, and it's incomplete. And Latu wasn't able to corral it.
Just a little low on the throw. As you said, Latu couldn't catch it. Kind of looking up. Knew he had some grass in front of him and could make that catch clean. But I like the game that offensive coordinator Aaron Keene is calling thus far. Kind of keeping this Pitt defense off balanced. Mike Glass making some plays with his feet. And pretty much exactly what they wanted to do.
Second down, design run by Glass, and he's inside the 30-yard line. Remember, this Eastern Michigan team has not won a bowl game since 1987. Their only bowl win. They've been down to 3 in the last 4 years. That's so much to play for here in this game tonight. Chris Creighton has just done an outstanding job righting the ship. Big-time wins. Keeping these guys engaged.
And you hear about coaches, right? You always hear the word culture, changing the culture. He's changed the culture at Eastern Michigan. It's become a winning program now. They're expecting to win, compete for MAC championships, and win bowl games.
Third down. Handoff to Van, and he's not going to have it. But he well shy. Deslin Alexander makes the tackle for Pitt, among others, and now fourth down.
Well, and Ryland, their kicker, has an exceptional leg as well. You know, Chris Creighton said he was going to be, well, he said he wanted to take calculated risk during this game, and 4th and about 5, and I think they'll send Ryland out.
And I just love the workmanlike shirts, you know, that they have.
That's the blue-collar mentality. It's 2 years in a row we've called Eastern Michigan games with Chris Creighton, and, you know, super impressed with that coach.
Ryland hit a 36-yard field goal earlier today to open up the scoring. This one is from 45. But the Eagles back on top. Plenty of distance, and this one's good. Right down the pipe. 20-17. And the Eagles are back in front with 1:32 to play first half.
Yeah, and it just positive drives tonight for Eastern Michigan. If not scoring touchdowns, they're getting points. And another field goal from Ryland.
Bowl season rolls on Saturday. We've got the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And this is going to be a fun one. Number 17 Memphis, number 10 Penn State, noon Eastern on ESPN and the app. You got the electrifying wideout DeMonte Coxie for the Tigers. They've averaged 8th most points per game in the nation. You got Nittany Lions defense, 7th best in the country.
Yeah, well,
fun one.
The story of this game is Mike Norvell is gone from Memphis. He took the Florida State job. Ryan Silverfield gets promoted within. He's the new head coach. The one thing about Memphis, and I love that team, we've seen them a bunch, very athletic. They have not played against a defensive front like Penn State in a long, long time. So to me, that's going to be the story of this game.
It will be a difficult challenge, yeah, but it's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm looking forward to it. Good to have you with us here tonight. The night after Christmas. Hope it was a good one for you yesterday. And happy holidays, everyone. Mike Corey with former Buffalo Bills and UMass Hall of Famer Rini Agolia and Allison Williams on the sidelines into the end zone. Haven't had a lot of returns here tonight. Let's check in with Zubin Mehenti now in the studio. What's happening? All right, thanks a lot, Zubin. And yeah, you know, in Miami going down.
Shut out,
yeah.
Right?
I mean, how's that?
Louisiana Tech fighting Skip Holtz's. Not a good end to the Hurricane season.
Pittsburgh. And the pass from Pickett's incomplete. Trying to find Shockey Jacques-Louis. First 2 drives of the night for Pitt. No points. Last 3. 17. Field goal, touchdown, touchdown.
Yeah, with all 3 timeouts, they can use the entire field here with 1:28 left before half.
Pickett, protection, but that one sails. And it's incomplete. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, good coverage on the back end by Eastern Michigan. And now you're thinking, if you're Chris Creighton, hey, we can get the ball back.
Right.
Here. Get a stop here on 3rd down.
Pittsburgh will receive the second half kickoff. Keep that in mind. They kicked off the start and won the toss, deferred.
And here's where I think you would call a quick screen, tunnel screen. See a high percentage pass. See if you can get this first down.
Pickett, pressure. Not going to get away. Sacked. Mike Haney.
Yeah, and Eastern Michigan will take a timeout right here. Chris Creighton. And it's a perfect defensive series for Eastern Michigan. So first 2 plays, Pitt incomplete. Not much time comes off the clock. That time great penetration by Haney. Up the middle, the big sack, big loss. Eastern Michigan will take a timeout to stop the clock, and they're going to get the ball back with great field position. And still 1:18 left in this second quarter.
No doubt. Dylan Drummond is standing at his own 45-yard line, awaiting the kick here from Kirk Christodoulou for Pittsburgh. And he's in the middle of his own end zone. See if the Eagles bring some pressure here.
I think you set up a return because you're going to get great field position.
A nice high kick. Fair catch called for and made at the Pitt 49-yard line. And you're right on the field position. So we'll see if they can make something out of it here with 1:11 to go.
The only negative is they're out of timeouts.
Right.
But remember, college football, clock stops after a first down. So you got a good kicker. And Chad Ryland's got a 54, 55-yard foot. So you really don't got to get that much yards. You get 3. But boy, you're thinking, let's push this ball down the field. Let's see if we can get a touchdown here. Get a lot of momentum going in to halftime.
Well, and Chad Ryland is a perfect 2 for 2 on field goals today, 36 and 45 that we just saw. So they've got confidence in him.
They only got to move the ball 10, 12 yards really to give him a chance. So they're thinking much more than that.
Badoon in motion. Glass. And he's done this tonight. Throwing on the run, and the catch is made in Pitt territory at the 36-yard line. And Badoon has it. Now the clock will stop to move the chain, as you said. They'll set up here. Still a minute 3.
You want to go quick, but you don't want to rush. You got time.
Now Turner on the carry. And he'll spin inside the 35-yard line, gaining maybe a couple. Clock running. 47 seconds.
You got a Pitt injured player. That's going to stop the clock.
It's going to be a break for Eastern Michigan for sure, as Campbell is down. So Phil Campbell the third. We'll remind you, coming up at the half, Zubin Mehenti, Trevor Manich, and Emmanuel Acho are standing by with a halftime report. So stay tuned for that. A lot of action this bowl season. Of course, 4 games tomorrow. Talk about that. A lot more still to come.
Playoff this weekend?
Yeah, semifinals.
Love bowl season.
Ryland warming up on the sidelines for Eastern Michigan. We'll see what they can do here. They'll be faced with a 2nd down and long just inside the 35. Is a good sign for Phil Campbell.
The defensive injury carries a 10-second runoff. Eastern Michigan has declined it. The game clock will start on the snap.
Yeah, when you've got the ball, you
know runoff. You want it. They want those 10 seconds. They want points.
Correct.
And they catch a break too, because obviously the clock was running. It stopped. It won't start until the snap.
3 receivers. And Turner in the backfield. Remember, Eastern Michigan out of timeouts. 2nd down and 8. Pitt showed some pressure, and Glass gets rid of it. And it's incomplete, but a flag comes flying in. Arthur Jackson, the intended target. Pittsburgh's upset there. You can see Dane Jackson and Paris Ford, number 11 and 12, respectively, saying that's not on us, is it? Let's see what Steve Marlowe says.
See what the field judge called.
Pass interference, defense, number 11. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That's called on Dane Jackson, 2nd team All ACC this year, 40 career starts for Jackson. 5th-year senior corner. Take a look at it. And the issue is, man, if you hook him with that left hand, that's what the field judge is looking at. He's got a great view of it, and the flag came in. That's what he called, one of the captains going to the Senior Bowl.
Glass, and overthrows his man. Miscommunication there. It's Arthur Jackson stopped. Glass was expecting him to head to the end zone. Now this is big for Eastern Michigan, because Pitt's going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. And the way this has gone back and forth, they're hoping at least a field goal here to push it to 6. I like the idea, though, of taking a shot as the clock stops. 2nd and 10. Well within field goal range. Glass can't take a sack, though. Spins away, and he's knocked down the 30-yard line.
And it will be a sack, finally, for that Pitt defensive front.
Well, now you've got to do something with
3rd down.
Stop the clock or throw it.
I think you just let it run down and you throw it away. Because you need it. You don't want it running here on 4th down.
And the catch is made. It's Latu, but he's getting the 1st down, so it's going to stop the clock to move the chain, but they're going to hustle. As there's only 3 seconds left on the clock.
And they're not going to get there. The linemen aren't ready.
They're going to try to spike it. Yeah, they could spike it, stop the clock, and set up for the field goal.
They didn't get it.
Oh. What were they doing?
That's the half. They had an injured lineman that was trying to hustle Mike Glass. Looks like they got the snap off. I didn't think they did. I saw zeros, but
Why did he spike it?
yeah, confusion.
The clock stopped to move the chain. The chain's reset. There's 3 seconds on the clock. Then he took the snap, but ran with the ball, and the clock expires on the half. Had he spiked it, they could have set up for the field goal.
See some offensive line run up, and you see the referee's winding it.
There was no flags.
Time has expired in the second quarter. That is the end of the first half.
Let's go down to Allison.
Coach Narduzzi, what have you seen at the line of scrimmage with your defense?
You know what? We're not getting a lot of pass rush, but somehow they're blocking us. I can't tell you why, but they're doing a good job getting the ball out quick as well. We got to do a better job in coverage.
On your offense, do you guys will get the ball to start the second half? What's the biggest thing you want to see them do well?
I want to make sure we don't turn the ball over. The first series of the game, we turn it over. It gives them 7 points. We can't turn the ball over. Hopefully it ends at just 1, and we got to get some turnovers on defense.
Pat, thank you. Mike.
All right, thanks, Allison. 20-17, Eastern Michigan leads it at the half. Let's go to Zubin Mehenti, Trevor Maddich, and Emmanuel Acho in the studio, guys.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
And we welcome you back to the Quick Lane Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania here tonight in Detroit, Michigan. From Ford Field, good one. 20-17, Eastern Michigan leads by 3 as we get set for the start of the second half. Good to have you with us, everyone. Mike Corey, Rainey Angolia, and Allison Williams on the sideline. Competitive game here so far. Very impressed with both teams.
A fun one. Eastern Michigan, good job protecting Mike Glass. I think they squandered one at the end there. Could have got 3 points. See if that comes back to hurt them.
Let's take a look at some of the first half stats here tonight. How we got to this point with a 3-point lead for the Eagles right now is some of the numbers here for you.
You see the passing yards pretty even, total yards pretty even, yards per play, and sacks. You see Pittsburgh only with 1 sack, leading the nation coming into this game with over 4 per game. So as I said, really nice job by Eastern Michigan protecting, but pretty evenly matched game, and it's a fun one.
Eastern Michigan looking for their first bowl win since 1987. And 30 minutes away. See who wins the Quick Lane Bowl here tonight from Detroit. How about some of the highlights of the first half? Well, we've seen some good ones.
Yeah,
too.
Eastern Michigan got off to a quick start, was up 10-0 early in this game. Mike Glass, a little power run. Get behind those pads, get it in there. Looking good early, but then the one play, 96-yard drive or 96-yard pass to Maurice French from Kenny Pickett. And that kind of jump-started that Pitt offense. But then Eastern Michigan came right back, a little tip drill. As Keon Williams, the beneficiary, makes the catch, walks into the end zone. And then back came the Panthers. Vincent Davis, the true freshman, the touchdown run.
Here is French now to get the second half started for Pittsburgh and going in the wrong direction. Tackled down for a 5-yard loss. But a solid first half that he had, at least receiving. He was targeted 8 times, had 7 receptions for 143 yards and the touchdown, including the 96-yarder that you saw.
And he'll tell you, just don't want to dance with the ball in the backfield like that. You'll get knocked for a big loss. And good start for the Eastern Michigan defense here.
2 catches away from breaking the single season mark set by Larry Fitzgerald. And this one goes to the way of Micaiah Griffin-Stewart, and he has it up to the 26-yard line. Still well shy of the first down, third down on the way.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Maurice French is going to get that record.
I would say so.
Before this one ends tonight.
Well, they get it out to him on the outside where he's been wide open. Yeah. The defender's playing off, and they said, fine, let's let it get to him, and he'll make a play in space.
And with strikes down the field, really, then safeties in coverage, and that's a mismatch that Pitt will take.
3rd down and 8. Trips to the left. Pickett. Rolling, throwing on the run, and incomplete. Wanted Shockey, Jacques Louis. Would have been a tough catch to make, and draped all over him was Brody Hoying. Was a fumble recovery and a sack tonight.
Yeah, good coverage by Hoying. You know, Pickett just rolls out to his left, tries to throw it back shoulder to Jacques Louis. Can't hold on, but Hoying's right there in his hip pocket for the pass breakup.
And there's Dylan Drummond back to return the kick from Kirk Christodoulou. And a 3 and out for Pittsburgh to start this second half. What a kick. Inside the 20-yard line is Drummond. And he'll pick up about 7 on the return. Let's take a look now at who's showing up tonight, presented by the Peloton app. And Mike Glass is certainly doing that for Eastern Michigan.
Glass is definitely showing up tonight, whether it's spreading the ball around with that arm or keeping it in the run game. He's doing it all tonight. As Mike Glass goes, so does this Eastern Michigan offense. Extending plays with his feet, avoiding the sacks, making plays tonight.
There's a late flag down as well. A little incident that occurred after the punt return, so we'll get that call. Steve Marlowe is our referee tonight here in Detroit.
SEC crew.
Back to Glass for a moment. 263 total yards in the first half, and he set Eastern Michigan's single season record for offense. And here's what happened after the punt return. So between McGill for Eastern Michigan and
After the play,
Jazzy
a
Stocker.
flagrant unsportsmanlike conduct on number 4 Eastern Michigan. At the distance to the goal, it'll be first down. Number 4 is disqualified.
Oh. Kevin McGill.
Yeah, and that's a 4-year starter at corner, and you heard the referee, Steve Marlowe, say it was flagrant, so McGill is ejected from this ball game. Not the way you want to end your career as a senior. And you can see Stocker really with the little bit of the headbutt first, kind of a little jab as well, and then
that right there,
yeah,
that kind of toss at.
Boy, I mean, is that enough to eject a player? I
don't know.
I just think you separate them. Let's see if we. Yeah.
I mean, he did swing his right arm, or his hand there to Cal Adamitis. That was 94 for Pitt after he was hit, though, and
yeah,
I don't know about that one. I could see the unsportsmanlike penalty, but to toss him out of the game. Well, that's the case, though. So McGill is done for the night. And Eastern Michigan goes to work here now as Dylan Drummond is in the other direction, and not anything happening on that play. So they're going to be faced with a second down and long as McGill exits the field.
Yeah, I mean, unless there was a little rabbit punch in there that I didn't see on the video, nothing looked too flagrant to me, but the officials made the call, and Kevin McGill, not only is his night done, his career's done.
Right.
In college.
Yep, the senior has been ejected here. Just under 2 minutes gone by in this second half. Glass hands off to Shaq Van, and Van gets across the 20-yard line. And he has a first down up to the 28.
You talked about the blocking on the left side of the line. That time, the right side of the line. Great down block in there. Shaq Van hits it. And now Eastern Michigan will go with a little tempo.
And Van again up to the 32-yard line. You know, to your point, just to go back to that, if there was something that happened that we did not see, we were getting more that he actually did spit on him. So that was something the officials saw that you couldn't see from that. We couldn't see. Yeah.
We're going to get a look at it here. Great camera work. Referee's right there. So
there you go. Yep.
They're in there. The umpire's looking, field judging, and you see Stocker's reaction. So if he spit, then that is flagrant, obviously, and that is a correct ejection.
Great job by this crew tonight. They have been outstanding. And also by our crew to see that and get that on there for you. So Eastern Michigan now will be faced with a 3rd down and 3 from their own 35-yard line. All right, what do you think? This offense has moved the ball here throughout this game. They got a lot of options.
Yeah, and I love it that you can give Mike Glass here a little run-pass option because we know he can make plays with his feet.
How about a quarterback sneak?
Yeah.
I mean, he's done that 4 times tonight. One of them got 5 yards.
Yeah.
They started 3 for 3 on 3rd down and 1 for 6 since. Glass. Pass is caught and is at first to the 39-yard line. Reception there. And that was by Hassan Badoun.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Badoun tonight. I like the route because he got past the sticks, was hit immediately after he caught the ball, but enough to get the 1st down. Good route.
First and 10. Glass's pass, and that one is incomplete as we head down to the sidelines and check in with Allison.
Guys, talked to Eastern Michigan's Chris Creighton at the half. Really pleased with how they protected in that first half. He said, though, there are some things they need to clean up on both sides of the ball with that 3-point lead. He said, offensively, we've run the ball effectively. We have to make sure we continue to be balanced there, and we have to make sure Mike Glass continues to make good decisions and protects the football. And then the biggest thing on defense, he said, we have to limit explosive plays.
Good info there, Allison. Thank you. Yet each team's got 1 sack here tonight. Yeah. We know about
and
Pitt.
that's an advantage to Eastern Michigan. That means you're protecting Mike Glass. Doing a nice job.
I mean, Eastern Michigan's racked up 300 yards here in this game. And this is going to Drummond, and he's not going anywhere. So he'll lose yardage on this play. It'll be 3rd and long. And there was an injured player down now for Pitt. And John Morgan was the one that got banged up. I mean, we're still early, of course, here in the 3rd quarter, but Pitt is averaging over 4 sacks per game, 2nd in the nation. They've only got 1 here tonight, so that's exactly what Eastern Michigan need to do, and they're doing their job.
And Jalen Twyman, number 97, first team all ACC, defensive tackle, 10.5 sacks coming into this game. Really been quiet tonight.
There's Twyman.
You know, wears number 97 to honor Aaron Donald, all-pro for the Rams. Obviously played at Pitt. Pretty good guy to honor.
Yeah, how about what Twyman has had to go through throughout his life, right, Allison?
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable story when you consider that he grew up in the housing projects outside of D.C. This is an area marked by crime and violence. His father was incarcerated for much of his upbringing. He lost both an uncle and his older brother to gun violence. The motto he got from his dad, though, is pressure only busts pipes or makes diamonds. And football was part of what helped him shine and escape his surroundings. He said, a lot of stuff I've seen really shaped me into the person I am today. I'm playing for a different thing when I put on that helmet and step between those lines.
It's just an outstanding story and the perseverance that he's shown, and he's just a sophomore, really. His class is taken down. It's going to be 4th down.
And he's a fighter. He's an NFL caliber player, is Jalen Twyman. And although we haven't called his name out a bunch tonight, he will keep fighting. See if he can make an impactful play here before this one's over. And even if he's not making plays, he's taking up a lot of the offensive linemen from Eastern Michigan because they know where Jalen Twyman is. They have to concentrate on him.
Right. Sometimes you don't always have to be the one to make the plays. And it's the teammates around you, and they're going to end up forcing Eastern Michigan to punt here on 4th and 13. 3rd punt by them tonight. And Pittsburgh will start at their own 17-yard line when we come back. 9:14 to play in the 3rd. 3-point game here in the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit. Back at the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit, 9:14 to play third quarter. Eastern Michigan hanging on to a 3-point lead. Pittsburgh getting the ball back at their own 18-yard line. And Kenny Pickett, number 8 there at quarterback, and he's had a season. That if he has another season like this next year, I mean, he could almost end up becoming maybe the second all-time leading passer in Pitt history, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, just behind Dan Marino. A lot of good quarterbacks played their college ball at Pitt.
This is Malik Carter on a carry. He takes a huge shot from Blake Bogan at the end of that. And about 6 yards at first down.
That's what you want to do is free safety Bogan. Come across that alley, downhill.
Pickett is 7th in history in passing right now. 6th on the list is our colleague John Kajemi.
Alex Van Pelt, who I played with in Buffalo Bills. Great career at Pittsburgh. So not just Dan Marino, a lot of good quarterbacks at Pitt.
Catch by Maurice French. I mean, Pickett started the game 13th for single season passing yards. He's about to move into 5th. He's just moving right up the chart. So is French. And one catch away from the record in a single season for him. Talking about number 2 on the Pitt offense. Third down. Pickett's pass caught. Shockey Jacques Louis. First down to the 32.
And Jacques Louis, a good receiver. Only a sophomore. Finds a soft spot in the middle of the field. Good protection by the O-line. Kenny Pickett puts it on him. Move the chains.
And they'll keep this one on the ground. And Carter for a couple. We talked to Mark Whipple, the offensive coordinator, this week, and he was excited, coming in as the OC now, because he's going to have some of these guys, a lot of these guys, for another year and then multiple years down the road, so he can kind of build this offense and get Pitt to be more aggressive.
A lot of young players. The center, 67, Jimmy Morrissey, a junior, a captain, first team all ACC. So offensive line returning everybody but the right tackle.
Pickett airs it out. Shockey Jacques Louis is triple coverage, and it's incomplete. A lot of green jerseys back there, including Vince Calhoun and Freddie McGee III. And the third player coming back as well, so they had it all covered pretty good. There's Bogan.
And Calhoun, number 3. He's the leader in that secondary. 4-year starter. Good coverage. Kenny Pickett showing you his confidence.
Eastern Michigan fans waving the white towels in the stands here, trying to get their defense to get off the field. 3 for 7 is Pitt on third down tonight. Play fake to Carter. Pickett steps up, not going to have enough. Good job by Terry Myrick to come in there and make the play for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Myrick, the linebacker, just sitting there watching, kind of spying Kenny Pickett. As soon as he broke contain and stepped out of the pocket, Myrick, 32, steps up and makes the tackle. Great job by the linebacker.
So each team's defense right now, a little bit of a charge to start this second half. Third straight punt for Pitt. And Drummond inside of his own 20 on the return. Picks up about 5, and a flag comes in as he gets ripped out of bounds.
Griffin Stewart, the big tight end with the tackle on special teams.
Starting to get a little bit chippy out here now as this third quarter has got moving along. Got a player ejected for Eastern Michigan, and flag coming in here at the end of this play. Here's the call.
During the return, blocking the back, number 9 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Eastern Michigan will have it, but deeper in their own territory when we come back. Still hanging on to a 3-point lead in the third in Detroit.
The Quick Lane Bowl, brought to you by Great Clips. It's gonna be great. And NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds at NerdWallet.
How about this Christmas gift, right? Hassan Badoon, the sophomore wide receiver, yesterday at their holiday lunch, a Secret Santa gift. It was from Coach Creighton, a letter saying that you are now on scholarship. And congratulations to him. And let's take a look at who's making smart decisions, brought to you by NerdWallet. And I think that's one of them right there to put him on scholarship. He's been outstanding for them.
And how about this for Badoon? 21 catches on the season. He's got 6 tonight for 84 yards, a career high. So that scholarship put a little pep in his step, and rightfully so.
But a great night, and it's still going here, as he was awarded that yesterday. Here's the pass over the middle. It's intercepted. Damar Hamlin has it for Pittsburgh. And Hamlin still on his feet inside the 15-yard line. And the Panthers are in business.
And that one just sailed on Mike Glass as he tried to get it to, I believe, his big tight end. I believe it was Gunnar Oaks, 82, right down the seam, and it was. And he just tries to get it over the linebacker Brightwell, and it sails on him. And Damar Hamlin right there for the interception, a huge takeaway, and now another flag laid on the play after the play.
So each quarterback has turned it over tonight. Pickett got hit and fumbled earlier for Pittsburgh. Now the interception here thrown by Eastern Michigan's Glass. Let's get this call.
After the play, there were multiple unsportsmanlike conduct fouls on Pittsburgh. Number 3, number 9, number 12, 21, number 11, and 28. Excuse me, 38. Those are their first of the game. It is one unsportsmanlike act for 15 yards. First down, Pittsburgh.
Wow.
So what they did was, it's one penalty for 15 yards, but they hit every player, and that's significant because if you get 2 unsportsmanlike conducts, you're ejected for the game. So just, showboating. Good call by the officiating crew, and that's how you stop this. You flag it unsportsmanlike because you can't do it again because you're going to be gone.
I mean, they flagged them all. It's a great job of marking it all down.
Absolutely. You just can't do it.
First Pittsburgh drive starting in Eastern Michigan territory tonight. Their 9th overall drive. It's backed up to the 29 as they go to Vincent Davis. And he has maybe a yard. So that is very significant. I mean, instead of inside the red zone, you start back at the 29, and the Eastern Michigan defense is now probably a little more juice to say, hey, let's get this back for our offense and not give up points.
You just can't do that. That's probably a celebration you want to say for when you're up by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In the second half, not down by 3. And so, as you said, that kind of hurt the offense, backing them up there.
Yeah, the Eastern Michigan bench is fired up there, jumping on the sidelines. 2nd down and 9 for Pittsburgh. Inside handoff again, Davis. And he'll still push this pile, and finally they're going to blow it dead at the 22-yard line.
He was actually off the ground.
Yeah.
The defender for Eastern Michigan picked him up, and then his offensive lineman pushed him, so he was just getting carried. I mean, he was like a football himself. He pushed back and forth.
I saw that too, but he's like treading water here.
He's literally off the ground. I want you to watch Vincent Davis, 22. Yep, he's up, and now get the feet down. No, let's push him here. Can you go for a little ride?
Can you crowd surf for a first down? How about that?
They got it back to a manageable 3rd down here, 3rd and 3.
And they're going to give it again to Davis. He loses the football. It's on the turf. And Pittsburgh is going to get back on it, or is it Eastern Michigan? No, Pittsburgh has recovered it. Grant Kerrigan. Man, what a play. Come back and corral that, the sophomore tight end.
Boy, and it looked like they were going to have the first down. Davis is going to lower the shoulders and just takes a big hit right on the ball by 2 defenders. It was 23 Bogan first. And that's where it hurts Pitt, when you don't have one of those big 220, 230-pound backs going in there. Lucky that Kerrigan was able to jump on that.
Well, and after the interception, now they're going to have to settle for a 51-yard field goal attempt, so that's no gimme. Kessman with a kick. but it is up and through, and we are tied at 20. So they don't squander the opportunity, and all of a sudden turns into a 51-yard field goal, but they convert.
That's a win for the Eastern Michigan defense. Pitt was going to have great field position. The penalty backs them up. They hold. Great field goal by Kessman. And we're tied at 20 in the Quick Lane Bowl.
Third tie tonight here in the Quick Lane Bowl from Detroit. We're tied at 10, 17, and now 20. After Alex Kessman with his 8th career field goal of 50-plus yards just hit a 51-yarder for Pitt. And the kickoff into the end zone. College football playoff semifinals coming your way this Saturday, December 28th on ESPN, the ESPN app. Heisman winner Joe Burrow. You got number 1 LSU and Oklahoma, and then number 2 Ohio State and number 3 Clemson. Saturday, the winners, of course, play for the national championship on Monday, January 13th on ESPN.
And I know I'm real original, but I like chalk in this one. I like LSU over Oklahoma. I like Ohio State over Clemson, and I like LSU over Ohio State.
I'm going to say
real original. I know.
LSU over Clemson and LSU to win it all. We'll find out a little bit more coming up on Saturday. Semifinals. Eastern Michigan back to work. And a catch by Badoon. He's just been outstanding tonight, been all over the field, and Paris Ford pushes him out of bounds for Pitt.
Coach Cranes, he's got to find some more guys to give scholarships to because they come alive for sure.
Too bad I didn't have a few more to give here, right? Yeah, exactly. That was yesterday during the holiday lunch. So the sophomore with a couple years left. 2nd down and 2. Glass. And on the catch and stretching right close to the marker is Badoon again. Let's see if they give it to him.
You know, we've talked a lot about how good this Pitt defense has been this year. The one thing they really haven't been great at is takeaways. Only 13 on the year coming into this game. That's 112th in the nation. Of course, they had the interception last time out, which was their 14th takeaway, and that's one thing that they need to work on, and I know defensive coordinator Randy Bates will.
Well, I mean, 11th in total D, 11th in rush D, and 20th in pass D, but to your point, yep, you got to get the ball back, for your offense. Oh, this pass is incomplete, almost intercepted. And Kylan Johnson put on the stick there for Pitt. They were trying to find Shaq Fan.
Good pressure by Twyman that time.
And there is Randy Bates up at the booth. And then how about the information that we were just told about Bates today, Allison, right? I mean, the news is about Bates and what he's gone through.
Yeah, Coach Bates has been leading this Pitt defense all year while battling a much bigger opponent. He had a 10-month battle with tonsil cancer. Luckily, 3 weeks ago, thankfully announced he is cancer-free. And it's crazy because this was actually detected during a physical before spring football began. It's something Coach Narduzzi requires his assistants to do. So Bates reluctantly went to the physical. It was there the cancer was detected early. They were able to fight it. He decided to share his story saying, I want people to know that they need to get physicals. They need to take care of themselves. Maybe if people hear my story, it could save a life or two.
And that's it. Pat Narduzzi saved Randy Bates' life, forcing his assistants to go get physicals. And that's the moral of the story. Get physicals, get checked out because he caught it early. And, thank God for that.
Yeah, only select people knew about this. I mean, he had been battling through it. Glad to know that he's doing okay now. And that just came out today. Glass on 3rd down, and the pass is incomplete. And looking for Drummond, it's going to be 4th.
Randy Bates, one of those old school tough coaches, was a linebacker coach in New Hampshire when I was a running back at UMass. So go back a long way with Randy Bates.
All goes back to the old Yankee Conference.
Yeah. Somehow. Pat Narduzzi, of course, Rhode Island, Yankee Conference. At Rhode Island.
Both defenses have really stepped up here in the 3rd quarter. Combined yards by both teams in the first half, 542. Here in this 3rd quarter by both teams, 50. French Lets this one bounce. Nothing he can do now, and it's going to go out of bounds to the 14-yard line. Coming up on Monday, Capital One Orange Bowl. Kyle Trask and number 9 Florida taking on Bryce Perkins and number 24 Virginia. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Cavaliers won their first ACC Coastal Division title. It's their first ever Orange Bowl. But of course, you got to look out for that Florida defense coming your way on Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And we did the Gators earlier this season when Trask came in. Yeah. And they have not looked back.
Impressed with Kyle Trask, more of a pure pocket passer for Dan Mullen. Fits into that system nicely. And Virginia, as you said, won the ACC Coastal. Of course, ran into Clemson. So I like Florida in that one. But again, comes down to motivation, right? We talked about it in these bowl games.
Bad snap. Pickett picks it up. And he can still get rid of it, and he does to the sidelines. So they survive a scare.
Smart
There
play.
is no foul for grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket and threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Steve Marlowe's taking my job.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was going to say. Pickett drops the snap. He's able to get outside the pocket and just launch it out of bounds as long as the ball reaches the line of scrimmage, which it clearly does. No grounding. A smart play by a veteran quarterback in Kenny Pickett.
And on the ground here for Davis. Well, Pitt's got out of this situation before. Earlier in the first half, they had the ball at their own 4-yard line through a 96-yard touchdown pass to French. With their longest drive this quarter, just 19 yards. And we got a player down for Eastern Michigan. As you see the teams there coming up in the semifinals. I mean, speaking of motivation, I just feel like, Clemson, I just feel disrespected, and they're going up against that Ohio State team. I mean,
if you listen to Dabo Swinney, right, they are disrespected, right? But that's what it's all about. College football playoff.
And it's Anthony Ramsey.
Big defensive lineman. Georgia. 6'3", 320. Good sign, sitting up.
We talked a lot about the Pitt defense coming into this game. How about the Eastern Michigan defense?
Yeah, flying around. I mean, defensive coordinator Neil Nethery got to be happy with his group. Gotten a takeaway, putting pressure on Pickett.
It's good to see at least Ramsey walking off the field, but definitely shaken up. 1:57 to play, third quarter. 3rd and 9 for Pittsburgh at their own 15-yard line. What do you think?
I mean, this Pitt offense, obviously all offenses, stay ahead of the chains. Positive yards on first down, second down, get it to a manageable. 3rd and 9 is not a manageable down and distance. So I would expect Neil Nethery in Eastern Michigan maybe dial up a little blitz, put some pressure on Kenny Pickett here. 3rd and long.
Pickett looking over the middle. The pass is batted down, incomplete. Knocked down by Freddie McGee III, and intended for Tayseer Mack.
So they don't blitz. Good protection. Pickett had time, but excellent coverage by Freddie McGee. As he gets that left hand, that inside hand in there to knock it away. And another defensive stand for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Freddie McGee was a guy to get on scholarship last year. Grew up around the area, a junior. His dad played with Charlie Batch, who refers to Charlie as his uncle. And this kick, and the punter is hit. Christodoulou, Blake Bogan got in there. There is no flag down, and the ball bounces inside the 40-yard line.
Well, and Steve Marlowe gave the signal for the ball being hit, which means no roughing.
The ball was tipped by number 23.
Punt goes for 48 yards. It'll be Eastern Michigan ball at their own 37.
And we'll get a look at it. And as I said, the referee, Steve Marlowe, right there. He's going to say the ball was tipped. Great layout there, and he's on it. Sees it. Therefore, no roughing when the ball's tipped. It's waved off. And then Bogan's been very active today on defense and on special teams.
Glass hands off, a reverse, and Latu, and he is hit well behind the line of scrimmage at the 30-yard line. That didn't work out. 7-yard loss. And Deslin Alexander and Paris Ford, there he is, number 12 for Pittsburgh, flex their muscles.
Well, and Glass tried to throw a block on Deslin Alexander. I think it would have been one of those blindside blocks that you can't do this year, but Alexander's so big that Glass kind of bounced off him, and then the other defender for Pitt gets there for the TFL, a tackle for the loss.
Yeah, how about the 4th of the game for the Pitt defense? Two wide receivers split. Van in the backfield. Grissom in motion. They fake it to him, and it's a keeper by Glass as he gets up close to the 40-yard line. Just like his ability to be able to run the ball, just as another option. They'll do it designed for him like that.
And that's a zone read right there, and he reads it perfectly. He rides the belly of the back. He's reading the defensive lineman. The tackle in the inside zone scheme. He spreads out, nice hole up the middle, and he takes it for a nice gain.
Clock is winding down here on this 3rd quarter. We've got 20 seconds to go. Another injured player down for Pitt. It's Kylan Johnson. The other thing at stake here tonight for Eastern Michigan, shooting for their first ever win over an ACC opponent. They're 0 for 9, and Pitt looking to go to 33-4 all time versus the MAC. But you know, when you get to these games, like you said, it's all about who wants it more, and we're in a tie ball.
We talked about neither of these head coaches have a bowl win. You know, we talked to Pat Narduzzi about it. He said last year doesn't matter. What we've done in the past doesn't matter. It's a new season and a new bowl game.
Let's take a look now at what's in store this postseason, brought to you by Macy's. And there is a ton in store. We talked about this one earlier, Memphis and Penn State. I'm excited to watch that game coming up at noon Eastern on Saturday on ESPN, and then of course the semifinals as well.
How about Joe Burrow? What a year he had. It's just incredible.
Amazing.
Incredible. And then Jalen Hurts, what a story that is, right? Bama doesn't make the playoff for the first time ever in the history of the playoff, but guess who made it? Jalen Hurts made it.
Isn't it crazy how 1 year you're all over somebody or a team? I remember Ed Orgeron when he's out there talking and apologizing, and we're going to get this thing right. And now they're playing for a potential national championship. It's that quick, you know, and you're a program that has so much pressure on you.
Yeah. And then, you know, I think Ohio State's a complete team as well. And I think the knock on Clemson hasn't really been tested, right? So should be 2 great semis.
Well, you saw Johnson coming off the field for Pitt. Fans will hold the 4 up into the air. We will go to the 4th, tied at 20. And what's been a fun game here tonight in Detroit. The Quick Lane Bowl back with the 4th after this. Back in Detroit for the Quick Lane Bowl and the start of the 4th quarter. Happy holidays, everyone. Mike Corey, Rini Angolia, Allison Williams. And we will start with a 3rd down for Eastern Michigan. How about Folin here?
I think I could take you. What do you think?
I'd like to try that. We haven't done it yet.
Another time.
3rd down. 3rd and 8 for Eastern Michigan to start the 4th. Mike Glass. Pressure. Gets rid of it. Catch is made. 1st down at midfield. And that's Arthur Jackson III on the reception.
Well, the key there is Randy Bates set a blitz at Mike Glass. The offensive line picks it up, gives him time to release it. Arthur Jackson one-on-one on the outside makes the reception in a huge conversion on 3rd and 8 for Eastern Michigan.
I would say some of the stars of the game have to be that offensive line.
Yeah.
They haven't scored since 1:32 left in the 2nd quarter. Eastern Michigan. Start of the 4th here. Play fake. Glass's pass, and that is caught. Short gain on the sideline. Drummond. All right, in Pittsburgh territory here. Got the running ability from Glass. Spread it around pretty good tonight. 10 different players have caught a pass for Eastern Michigan. Van. And about 2 yards shy of a 1st down.
Yeah, I like the big back there. Shaq Van. And that's one thing we talked about earlier that Pitt really doesn't have in their arsenal, that big 220-pound back like a Shaq Van, which pays dividends on downs like this, 3rd and short.
You can see the signals coming in from the sidelines there. What do they have here for 3rd and 2? Started a perfect 3 for 3. 33% since. They've done this a lot, though. And Glass has it for the first down. He's been responsible for 5 of them tonight.
Yeah, and that's just a straight quarterback power. And what that does is it gives you an extra blocker in the formation. The running back, Shaq Van, 5 is going to get up front and block as well. And then Mike Glass just keeps those feet moving, bounces off the first contact, picks up the first down.
Van and upended. Let's get down to Allison.
Guys, such an impressive performance by this Eastern Michigan offensive line, and O-line coach James Patton telling his guys, hey, we need to get back on our toes. We've been on our heels too much. We have to attack and really hit them in the run game, and really coaching them up on Twyman. You know, we haven't said his name a whole lot today. He said you got to be ready for his swim move at all times, stay square, and use your hands.
And they've done a nice job thus far. And as Allison said, on your toes, firing off the ball, winning at the line of scrimmage.
That's a huge number to show you right there with the 49 sacks coming in and just the 1 tonight. To her point, here is Glass again, right up the middle, and breaks free. And it's going to set up a first down inside the red zone. Damar Hamlin tracked him down.
And to me, that's been the difference tonight, is Mike Glass making plays with his feet. The pocket collapsed immediately there. Good pressure by Pitt, but Glass recognized it, steps up, catches a few blocks, sets up a few blocks, and then gets a big run.
24-yard gain by the quarterback. Now Shaq Van just went out, the running back number 5. Looked like he got banged up a little bit, so we'll change things up in the backfield now as Willie Parker is in. Haven't seen him at all really tonight. Glass to the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Drummond.
And you had 2 receivers in the same vicinity. You don't want that. Brought in another Pitt defender. Just too much traffic there. Goes incomplete.
Another player down for Pittsburgh. Is that John Morgan again? It is.
Yeah, but Mike Glass puts it in there anyway. Almost has it. See Damar Hamlin, the safety, getting that hand up just enough. Cause the incompletion.
Second time that Morgan's been down tonight. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Eastern Michigan. We are tied at 20, 11:36 to play in this 4th quarter. How about coming out here this week with the College Football 150? It's been so much fun watching all the different segments and stories and rankings that we've done here for the CFB 150. And how about some of the players from Pitt who are on the all-time All-America team that was announced?
Well, everyone knows Ditka as a coach. They forget what kind of great player he was as a tight end. Hugh Green, one of the best defensive linemen ever played a game. I agree with those 2 so far.
Well, and you could make a case for a lot of Pitt players to be on this list. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking there's a few left off, to be honest with you.
Larry Fitzgerald, oh, by the way, Maurice French is a reception away from breaking his record.
Glass on the keeper. It's down to the 10-yard line. Where's Marino?
Dorset. Yeah. And I was a huge Tony Dorsett fan when I was a kid. So, yeah, you know, listen, inevitably in lists like that, you're going to leave some players off. Can't argue with the ones that are on there. They're deserving, and there's always going to be some players left off that could have been on the list, and I think Marino, Dorsett, for sure.
Eastern Michigan in the red zone at the 10-yard line with a 3rd down. Huge play coming up. 7 of 13 on 3rd down tonight. Shaq Van is back in the backfield. Mike Glass dumps it off. It's caught. Arthur Jackson. He's in for the touchdown.
Again, just enough protection to give Mike Glass time to hit Arthur Jackson. Little crossing route. He gets caught up with Cam Wright, the star linebacker for Pitt. And that's a mismatch that Eastern Michigan will take. Again, can't say enough about this offensive line of Eastern Michigan. And their quarterback, Mike Glass, steps up in the pocket, finds Arthur Jackson, mismatch with the linebacker, gets it in for the score. Eastern Michigan back in front in this one. Great job, Mike Glass.
Down the brick wall with a sledgehammer, one of their themes. They'll run through the wall. Their workmanlike, tough, blue-collar mentality. And they got the wrench as well on the sidelines, Rainey.
Fits right in there with the shirts the coaches are wearing, blue-collar workers.
And it's got them out to a 7-point lead here tonight in the quick lane bowl. And on the return is Maurice French for Pittsburgh, trying to make something happen. And he gets knocked out of bounds before the 25. Quick lane bowl from Detroit, Michigan here tonight. We had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. Happy holidays, everyone. Mike Corey, Rennie Ngolia, Allison Williams on the sidelines. It's been a fun game here tonight, Rennie, as Eastern Michigan looks for their first bowl win since 1987. They got a player down. It's Corey Hernandez. And that's what they're playing for here tonight. And Pitt, their 35th bowl game ever, just the 4th for Eastern Michigan.
We always talk about motivation in these bowl games, right? I think both these teams very motivated, both playing hard-nosed football tonight. Both of these teams want to win this quick lane bowl.
How about what we've seen so far here tonight in this 7-point lead for the Eagles? Let's take you back.
Oh, a lot of action. Early touchdown by Mike Glass made it 10-0 Eastern Michigan. But Pittsburgh came back. Maurice French, how about a 96-yarder? School record. Eastern Michigan, though, answered right away. Next time out, little tip drill. It's tipped by the defender right into the hands of Keon Williams for the touchdown. And then Pitt comes back. A little run play by Vincent Davis. And then the touchdown we just saw as Mike Glass steps up in the pocket, gets it to Arthur Jackson, a little crossing route.
And Mike Glass just set the single season completions record with that pass for the touchdown. He has 262 now, past Andy Schmidt, who had the record back in 2008. And now Pittsburgh and Davis as he gets up to the 40-yard line. That's a solid run there to get things going. True freshman.
Nice little draw. Good quickness. Vincent Davis.
Pickett guns it, catch is made, Jared Wayne, and he has a first down. And just like that, they're into Eastern Michigan territory.
Haven't called Wayne's name out. Another true freshman. One of the young players on this roster.
Now, how about the tempo that Pitt is working with here?
Starting to speed it up a little bit. So I think Mark Whipple trying to change the pace.
Pickett dumps it off Davis. He has it inside the 40. Still on his feet, making moves and cutting it back. And he's in the red zone. Kobe Beltran finally made the tackle for Eastern Michigan.
And I love the progression from Kenny Pickett. Goes 1, 2, 3, doesn't have it, dumps it off to Vincent Davis, knows where he is. And I love the young running back, doesn't go out of bounds, cuts it back in, gets some more yards. 28 on the reception for Vincent Davis.
3 plays, 3 straight first downs. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Pickett. Pressure. Can't get away. He's going to be sacked. Sean Simeon with a sack for Eastern Michigan all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Yes, Simeon doesn't give up on that play. And that's one there where Kenny Pickett, when he kind of floated to his left, just launched that thing out of bounds, lived for another down. Huge sack by Simeon. Big loss for Pittsburgh on that play.
To say the least, that's a loss of 12. And Eastern Michigan has 2 sacks tonight. Pittsburgh only has 1. And it's Davis again as he gets inside the 20. Don't you feel like Davis is like rushed for over 100 yards? I mean, he's actually just over 50 right now, but he's got a lot of
Just starting to get going. Obviously something they see with the inside draw there. Some real estate in the middle. They're taking advantage of it, but that sack really hurt him. 3rd and 11 now.
Pickett over the middle. He's got a wide open man, and the catch is made, and into the end zone goes Jared Wayne. It's a touchdown, Panthers.
Excellent job by Jared Wayne. Wide open at about the 3. Pickett puts it on him. He doesn't realize he could have turned right in. Knew he was going to get hit though, and then powers it in here at the end just to get it across the goal line. First look looked like he got in. Replay will look at this one.
The previous play is under further review.
So obviously you see the knee go down, the thigh goes down. Where is the ball when it hits? Remember, indisputable video evidence. So their knee hits there, but where was the ball? Obviously from that view, you don't know if it broke the plane. And if the play stands, it'll be a 19-yard touchdown reception for Jared Wayne. This is probably our best look, Mike. But again, we're still at an angle. So although the knee's down, you can't definitively tell me if that ball broke the plane, which is the very front of that goal line.
Well, you said it earlier, and that's why the call on the field is so vitally important, because if you don't have enough looks, the call on the field has to stand. And the call on the field was a touchdown. So we believe that will hold up with that verbiage, and Pitt will be an extra point away from tying this game. Let's see, maybe that one is enough there. We'll see if our officials decide that they are just shy.
Yeah, I think it's going to stand. I don't see anything indisputable one way or the other, honestly.
Doug Linebarger is our replay official.
But I've been surprised before, so.
Yep. How fun has this game been here tonight, right?
Yeah. 2 teams battling it. Want to win this game. Evenly matched. Getting after it.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And as we talked about, and that's a play where if they called him short, it would have stood as short as well. But it's the right call by the official, right job by replay to look at it, see what you got, and let it stand.
And Pitt comes back to tie it yet again. And Alex Kessman with 8:22 remaining in this contest. Our 4th tie of the night, and we'll be back. Exciting one here tonight from Detroit.
In Kansas, he took his team as part of a senior leadership development program to climb Pikes Peak, and he's been doing it every year since. He said there's something phenomenal about the experience of working together and being able to climb a mountain. So he takes his assistants and he takes his seniors every single year. So that meant this year, Mike Glass and the crew climbing 14,000 feet to the top of Pikes Peak. I asked Mike about it. He said, first of all, I will never do that again. He said it was so tough. Here I thought, whatever, I'm in great shape. I'll be able to do this. But he did say it was such a good learning lesson. He said, I realize if you want to accomplish something difficult, you need people in your corner. You need your teammates by your side. And what an experience for him and every senior class that plays for Chris Creighton, who, by the way, guys, has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow, how about that, right? That's great.
That was Shaq Van behind Mike Glass, too, trying to catch your breath. There's a lot thinner up there, right? But, they say teams kind of take on the personality of their coach, and you see that in Eastern Michigan and what Chris Creighton has done here, and tremendous job by him, and just love that attitude and just the fight that he has, and, yeah, climbing mountains. Something I haven't done.
I went to the top of Mount Evans in Denver, Colorado. Of course, I drove up there.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll join them the next time. That is just awesome. Pass of Glass over the middle is incomplete. And looking for Dylan Drummond.
You were out of breath just driving that mountain, by the way.
No, you can just see it on their faces, right, when they get up to the top.
But, what a sense of accomplishment to do that. These guys never thought in their lives they were going to, climb a mountain and get to the peak. And
we walked up.
That's like a mountain. It's not like, your backyard.
We walked up a little bit. The air was thinner. I was with my mom and dad, and I was like, you guys okay? They're like, yeah, we're fine. I was like out of breath. I'm like, okay, that's good to know. Over 14,000 feet. 27 all here tonight. 2nd and 10. Glass's pass. And caught on the sidelines by Arthur Jackson. He just had the touchdown, and now he has a first down.
Well, mix up in coverage there because Arthur Jackson's just sitting there wide open. No one on him. Glass puts it on him, and first down.
You can't overshadow those team-building exercises.
Yeah.
It's a lot more off the field, right? So you can get on the field and play for each other. Glass's pass is caught again in midfield. It's Keon Williams, and he has it to the 46 of Pitt.
Just kind of picking apart now the secondary of Pitt. Twins up top there. Just a little stop route. Corner keeps going. It's an easy pass and catch.
And they're wasting no time as they get it to Van, and he picks up 6 on the ground.
Well, and Aaron Keene, the offensive coordinator, says, listen, I can change my tempo up too. We can go quick when we need to. But just getting back to that team building, I mean, there's no other team sport like football where you need all 11 players doing their job to succeed. And so those team building exercises go such a long way.
They're phenomenal. This is the 3rd bowl in the last 4 years that Eastern Michigan has been in as Glass carries for a first down. They are looking for their first bowl window since 1987. And this is a program in its first 2 years that went 3-21. They've been 25-25 since. But with those bowl appearances, a win over a Big Ten team every year the last 3 years. Now they're trying to get a huge win here over an ACC team in the Quick Lane Bowl 30 minutes from home. First and 10, Glass taking a shot. Jackson, it is incomplete. He was out of bounds. Made the catch, but did not get in.
Yeah, the right foot landed out of bounds. He dragged the left one, but from my vantage point in the booth, the right foot stepped out first before he dragged the left one. Let's get a look at it here. Great concentration.
Yeah, his right foot's out.
Correct. I mean, he dragged that left one, but simultaneously that right one hit out. That's a good call by the official. Bang, bang play there. That's the right call.
Injured player down for Pittsburgh, Tyler Bentley, redshirt freshman defensive tackle. Yeah, I'm just amazed at the officials and how they can make those calls in real time, real speed, bang, bang. And
this crew's been excellent tonight.
Yeah.
Given some unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. We had an ejection. I mean, they've kept it in control.
How about this crowd here tonight as well? I mean, we're looking at a new record for the 6th year of a bowl game being here in Detroit at Ford Field. 34,765, a new record. I mean, it's been electric here for both teams tonight. This entire lower bowl is almost.
And they've been treated to a great game.
Yes.
And how about great weather in Detroit. I think I brought some warm weather with me from Florida.
You did.
50 today in Detroit. Crazy.
Didn't need the jacket at all. Bowl games. We've got 4 more for you tomorrow on ESPN, the ESPN app. It all starts at noon Eastern and goes right through the day, all the way through the night. North Carolina and Temple get it started in the Military Bowl. We were doing that one last year. And Michigan State, Wake Forest. What else stands out?
Well, how about the job Matt Brown has done at North Carolina? Freshman quarterback Sam Howell, 35 touchdowns. That's one right out of the blocks. I want to see Temple. Rod Carey, new coach, came from the MAC, coaching Temple now. Good defense there.
Glass, another keeper. Yeah, we'll have your day set for you tomorrow from noon Eastern all the way to 1 a.m.
Get your snacks, get on the couch, get on the sofa, get ready to go. Great football tomorrow.
How about Glass? 287 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, also a touchdown rushing, 89 yards on the ground. He's been phenomenal. 3rd and 6. Goes to the sideline, and it's off the mark. Line Latu.
Yeah, and they're going after Damari Mathis, 21, because all the passes down the field, they're attacking whoever Damari Mathis is covering. That one goes incomplete.
Yeah, this is going to test Ryland here. Chad Ryland, who's 2 for 2 tonight. 36-yarder earlier, then a 45-yarder. And just going to kind of keep backing this thing up. Let's see if he can knock this down from 49 and give Eastern Michigan the lead back. It's a low liner, and it's good. Chad Ryland for the Eagles. 3 for 3 tonight. And Eastern Michigan responding once again. 6 minutes to go in the contest. Eagles by 3. Back to Detroit after this.
The Quick Lane Bowl, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Share the magic this season with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy Coca-Cola.
Welcome back to Detroit. It is a 3-point lead for Eastern Michigan with 6 minutes to go. The teams have alternated on the last 7 scores. Pitt has yet to lead tonight. They are knocking on the door yet again here. We'll see if this drive could put them in front. Now coming up next on SportsCenter, Michael Eaves and John Butchgrass have it for you as they will break down a lot of stuff here. The reaction from the Mavs-Spurs game, plus Chase Young and the conversation there. And how about what Carson Wentz has done in his resurgence with the Philadelphia Eagles? All that and more coming up tonight on SportsCenter right here on ESPN when we are done in Detroit.
What a win, huh? The Eagles had over the Cowboys last week.
Yes.
What they're doing with so many players out.
And what does Pitt do here on this drive? Kenny Pickett, junior quarterback. They'll hand off here to Vincent Davis, who's carried the load tonight for them on the ground. That's his 14th rush of the night for 60 yards.
We haven't called Maurice French's name out in a while, so I would expect maybe a little quick wide receiver, maybe tunnel screen to him. See if we can get him loose.
Well, he's in the slot to the bottom of the screen, and they've done it a ton of times tonight. Just get it out to him quickly. There he is. And there it goes. He's got it. And you called it. And with that, Maurice French is now the new record holder for catches in a single season. That is his 9th of the night. And he just passed Larry Fitzgerald, who had 92 back in 2003. Congratulations to him. Now he'll add to it another one, but it's going nowhere. And that was on a 3rd down play. And Eastern Michigan's Calhoun and Freddie McGee were all over it. And that is a monster stop.
Well, exactly what you want to do defensively. Read that one, react to it, and they did. Blow through the blocks. French makes the catch, but actually lost a yard on the play, and they got a punt.
But I tried to go quick.
Yeah. Eastern Michigan
out.
was not fooled.
fifth punt for Pittsburgh tonight on a 4th and 3. And fair catch is called for Eastern Michigan by Drummond. And they'll have it from the 30-yard line. Fans, tune into the ESPN app after this game for the post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One immediately following tonight's game on the ESPN app. And who will be hoisting the trophy for the Quick Lane Bowl here tonight? Eastern Michigan with a 3-point lead.
And it's 4-minute offense time, right? That means win the game, run the ball. So I would expect Eastern Michigan to slow it down here, try to grind it out on the ground here, pick up some first downs, force Pitt to start using some timeouts. But you got to get some first downs.
Grissom in motion. It's a handoff to Van up the middle. And he'll power his way for a good 5 yards, so they'll take that. I mean, this is what Coach Chris Creighton told us before the game this week. Said, we've got to put some points up. We've got to score here. They knew about the defense. If they can get some points, they have. They're 6-1 this season and scoring 30-plus points.
You know my pet peeve, right? You're winning a game. You get in the fourth quarter, under 4 minutes. You let this play clock run. You don't snap the ball till it gets under 5 seconds. Take every second off the clock you can.
Second and 5. Van again, brought down for a loss. And Salim Brightwell was in there for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that time Brightwell, the middle linebacker, shot the gap quickly. Got to the back, the line of scrimmage, made the tackle.
And so now 3rd and 5. I mean, trying to get this first.
It's a passing down. Yeah. I think you got to try to pick this up. Maybe something quick, high percentage, get it completed. See if your receiver can make a guy miss.
Glass, and he tried to run for it. He's only going to get a couple, so that's not going to be enough. 4th down and 3, and a timeout.
Yeah, Narduzzi will use a timeout, I think, and really that was a called quarterback draw. You saw the offensive line for Eastern Michigan trying to cut everyone from Pitt.
Second half.
Good job by that defense to pop up and make that tackle. Now a quick 3 and out. It's going to force Eastern Michigan to punt.
I mean, look, that's worked out well for them tonight. Those quarterback keepers. And Glass this time was stopped. 4th and 3 when we come back. Fourth down and 3 for Eastern Michigan. Punt team is on the field. They're hanging on to a 3-point lead. Pat Narduzzi and his crew will wait to get this one back with 2:52 remaining. Jake Julian, the punter. Maurice French standing at his own 24-yard line. Good high kick. And it's perfect for Eastern Michigan. Can't ask for much more than that. 9-yard line is where they spot it.
Phenomenal job by the punter. Pitt left their defense out there. Punt safe. Great punt. They're backed up.
54 yards that time by Julian. 2 timeouts left for Pitt. As they are down by 3. Kenny Pickett. Here we go.
Important for Pitt. Positive yards on first down. When they've gotten 0 or TFLs, tackle for a loss on first down, they've really sputtered. When they get positive yards on first, even if it's only 3 or 4, offense has been able to move the ball with much more effectiveness.
Eastern Michigan, 34 miles away from home here in Detroit at Ford Field. Their fans fired up as Pitt is backed up deep. Davis on the carry and gets them some breathing room. Up close to a first down. As we showed the note there that Pittsburgh has not won a bowl game since 2013, right here at Ford Field with a 30-27 win over Bowling Green. James Conner, MVP in that game with 229 rushing yards. Pickett fires, caught across the 30 by French. And you're right, Rudy, he was quiet for a while. Then they went to him 2 straight plays in the last series. They were forced upon them to go back to him here.
Yeah, and finds that soft spot in the middle of the field. Throw a little high by Kenny Pickett, but Maurice French goes up and makes the catch. Just like that, they're out to the 33-yard line.
11 catches, 162 and a touchdown for French. Pickett. No, he almost had him again. He couldn't hold on to it as Blake Bogan was on his back for Eastern Michigan.
And that's one there where Maurice French has that in his belly. He's got it caught. He starts running with it before he has it secured. And it goes down and it goes incomplete. And boy, Maurice French, I think, is still down on this play.
This he's a warrior. He had a broken jaw earlier this year. He missed 2 games. That's what Coach Narduzzi and offensive coordinator Mark Wobble said. I mean, they were without him, so trying to run their offense, you know, with a big playmaker like him out of the lineup, but he has been impressive tonight.
Well, and the big thing the coaches told us, you know, Pat Narduzzi said, we want to get him catches, but yards after the catch. And they've done that today. They've given him opportunities to get those yards, and of course, a school record, 96 yards. So a lot of yards after the catch on this one, about 60 of them. Just explosive and great day for the senior wide receiver out of New Brunswick, New Jersey. And 5'11", 200 pounds, captain, senior. He's going to get a shot in the NFL. He's going to be in someone's camp.
Well, and think about this. I mean, the great Larry Fitzgerald in 2003 played in 13 games and he had 92 catches. This is only the 11th game of the season and final game of the season for French, and he now has 95, so he broke the record in 2 less games.
But boy, you hope he's okay because 2 minutes left, down 3. You want your best offensive player on the field with you. So
correct.
Let's see if Maurice French makes it back in here.
Second down. Pickett. It is tipped and incomplete. Almost intercepted. Tayseer Mack popped it up into the air, and he's lucky that wasn't going the other way.
Well, Mack had it, a ball he should have caught. Brody Hoying right there, 24. The safety comes over late. He's going to get his hands up, and I think it just distracted Mack because he doesn't touch the ball. And he may have gotten a piece of it, but it goes incomplete.
Brady French is back in, number 2 for Pitt in the slot, bottom of the screen. Malik Carter's in the backfield. It's a 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. They dump it off on the screen, and Carter is taken down right near the first down marker. Is it going to be enough?
He got a great spot, Mike. I think he's going to have the first down.
They have it. First down for Pitt.
Oh, great play call.
And a sophomore back delivered from out of the backfield on that catch. Pickett again. And is there any flag here? Tayseer Mack, nothing doing. Defended by Freddie McGee.
Yeah, good break on the ball by Freddie McGee, number 7 for Eastern Michigan. As Mack comes out of his break. Freddie McGee juiced up there. Good flight to the football.
Pickett hands off. And again, it's Carter. And all of a sudden, Malik Carter, as they change it up. You know, we've seen Vincent Davis all night here tonight.
Well, Myrick, the linebacker, had that read perfectly. He was going to make a tackle at the line of scrimmage, but Carter just makes a miss. It's a nice pickup on second down.
Clock is running. Coming up on a minute 10. Pickett on third down. Hit as he throws. And the catch is made inside the 30 by Shockey Jacques Louis. Oh, what a grab. He was falling back. Pickett got hit. And it's a first down inside the Eastern Michigan 30.
Yeah, it's an outstanding play by Kenny Pickett. The pocket was collapsing around him. He steps up. It looks like he's going to run, but he keeps his head down the field. He hits Shockey Jacques Louis down that right sideline, puts it on him, and the receiver goes up and makes the grab.
Injured player down is C.J. Hunt for Eastern Michigan, but under duress, Pickett at the Shockey Jacques Louis, gain of 23.
And you know, Pickett knows he's going to get hit, and right there, I think he thought, I'm going to run for it, but they kept his head up, and that's what good quarterbacks do. He saw Shockey Jacques Louis get some separation down that right sideline, puts it on him, and I would say we're in for a great ending here, partner.
Oh, no doubt. 1:05 remaining as Hunt walks off. 25 of 37 for 333 and 2 scores is Pickett.
How about his 5th game over 300 yards this year?
Yep.
Through the air for Kenny Pickett. Pretty good.
And that pass put him in field goal range. Pickett to the outside, French. And gets a few yards shoved out of bounds on the sideline. Remember, Alex Kessman, their field goal kicker, is 2 of 3 tonight. He's hit from 43, 51, and he's missed from 49.
Eastern Michigan a little lucky on that play. A little shove out of bounds. A little late. Could have been a flag, but the referee keeps it in his pocket. 53 seconds left in this one, and believe me, as good as Alex Kessman is, Pat Narduzzi and Pitt want a walk-off touchdown. They want to win this thing right here.
2nd and 7. Pickett to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown by Mack. And a flag is thrown as he was getting grabbed, and Pitt has the lead.
Well, it'll definitely stand. It was defensive holding as Mack got grabbed, as you saw, Mike. What a catch by Taysier Mack.
Pass interference, number 3, defense. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
First Pitt lead tonight comes with 47 seconds left as Taysier Mack, transfer out of Indiana, hauls it in for the touchdown. And this extra point from Kessman can make it a 4-point game, and he does.
And that was Taysier Mack's first reception of the night. What concentration. That's a Sports Center play right there. That's a top 10 play. Great concentration. He gets held on the play. Great double move. He gets held, but watch the concentration. Turn around, get that right hand up there. What a catch by Taysier Mack.
Pickett loves it. His night has been spectacular. 3rd touchdown pass. And Mack, I mean, he is no slouch. He comes in with 62 catches on the season.
Well, I think he was a little banged up coming into this game, but boy, great double move. Gets held, concentration, and the reception.
And the duo of Taysier Mack and Maurice French this year, the #1 duo in the ACC for receptions. I mean, they had a combined 146 entering this game here tonight. And Mack, his first of the evening for the touchdown. But now, 47 seconds to go, and Eastern Michigan's got all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
They need a touchdown. Obviously down 4. And this offense has been excellent tonight.
It's a drive for Pittsburgh that went 10 plays, 91 yards, in a minute and 56 seconds. Remember, they started at their own 9-yard line. And Pat Narduzzi's group goes down the field, and they get the touchdown. Now, Eastern Michigan.
It's been a great game. What else can you say? Back and forth. Two teams battling, fighting.
And will it be heartbreak for the second year in a row for Eastern Michigan?
Well, it's going to be heartbreak for someone.
Mike Glass dumps it off. Van cuts it back. And he's down at the 29-yard line, and a timeout is taken by Eastern Michigan. Chris Creighton's on the field, yelling for the stoppage.
Timeout.
If you're Pitt, you'll give them the underneath stuff. You'll give them the swing routes to the back.
30-second timeout.
Just come up and make the tackle, and better yet, make the tackle in the field of play. Force Eastern Michigan to use those timeouts.
I mean, they've been involved in these games all year. Eastern Michigan, 4 of its wins this season have been decided on the game's final drive. And yet, here we go again tonight. Pittsburgh has been in 8 one-score games this season, which is second in the nation, and Eastern Michigan's been involved in 7.
Yeah,
so
both these teams have been here.
It's playing out exactly how we expected. So let's see what happens. 2nd and 5. 42 seconds remaining. 2 timeouts left for the Eagles from the 30. Mike Glass. Pressure. He's sacked. Phil Campbell, the 3rd for Pittsburgh.
Well, they haven't gotten to him often tonight.
Eastern Michigan, their second of the half.
But they just did when it really counts.
30-second timeout.
As Phil Campbell plays what they call the star linebacker position.
3-6.
Comes off that left side, and you know, Mike Glass, you know, he could feel him coming. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. And look at the speed by Campbell as he gets there for the sack.
Well, and now all of a sudden Pittsburgh exercising that number that we said coming in, how great they are. Number 2 in FBS in sacks over 4 games. They just got their second.
Got their second, but boy, comes at a very good time for that defense. So you get the big loss on the sack, and Eastern Michigan has to burn another timeout. Only 1 left.
So 3rd down and 14. 36 seconds, 1 timeout. Glass. Steps up. Guns it. The catch is made at the 40-yard line. What a grab by Hassan Badoon. 1st down when they needed it most.
How impressive Badoon looked today. Impressive. Making catches in traffic. Makes the grab. Takes the big hit.
He's at double figures of receptions, and this pass is incomplete off the hands of Badoon.
And I think that's better. He dropped the ball, Mike, because Badoon was going to get tackled in the field of play. Clock would have been running, and we're already down to 21 seconds. So that's actually a blessing right there for Eastern Michigan that ball gets dropped.
You can see some of the looks on their fans' faces, and they have been just juiced up all night here tonight. They've had the lead all game up until these last 47 seconds when Pitt has taken the lead. 21 seconds to go from the 40. Glass off the turf.
And there was Jalen Twyman right there. A little swim move. Right through the